If there's something strange in your neighborhood, if there's something weird and it doesn't look good, who are you going to call? I ain't afraid of no communist spies. If he's walking through your door or listening through your wall, who are you going to call? Let's find out as Chaotic Neutral plays Call of Cthulhu. The year is 1985. It's the year that the FBI will one day term the Year of the Spy. The Cold War is still rumbling on. But out here in a little place I like to call America, it's never far from people's minds. We join 4 agents working for the Federal Bureau of Investigation for a small, underfunded branch known as the Y-Files. You've all been summoned to Baltimore. You find yourselves in the morgue of the university hospital, deep in the basement, where a missing nuclear scientist has been found, a little too late, because he's currently lying out cold on a slab. There's some concern, you've been briefed, that there might be some Russian influence in what's happened here, because he was a nuclear scientist. But specifically, they've called on the Y-Files because there's something not quite right. And so they've asked you to come to begin an investigation, starting, of course, with the autopsy. So, who are the 4 suits in the room?
Well, I'm going to be playing Special Agent Drainer Sully.
Drainer.
I am an FBI agent and also a pathologist, so I presume I'll be conducting the autopsy.
Yeah, as soon as you walk in, it's one of those, classic low ceiling, everything's metal. The forensic pathologist there, she introduces herself as Dr. Susan Lowry, and she says, "Oh, good morning, Doctor. You must be Dr. Sully."
Yes. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Would you like to oversee the autopsy?
That would be fantastic. Yes.
She offers you a scalpel.
Okay.
We'll start in just a moment. She's putting gloves on and sort of scrubbing up. Who else is in the room?
I think stood at the back, bald head, blank features, earpiece in, black suit, just stood, hands clasped, is my character, Agent Ypsilon, who is just surveying the scene, and every so often just saying, "The doctor is holding the scalpel now, over." "They're making the first incision, over."
Commentating.
You probably all know
Quite
as
a
well.
shaky hand, over.
God,
Bad form.
not Ypsilon again.
Possibly not done this before, over.
Excellent. Who else is here?
Stood sort of in the shady corner of the room is Special Agent Sharon Russo. She's a parapsychologist for the Y-Files. She's sort of, not unattractive, but quite, shabby looking. Her apartment's a pigsty, really. And she's just in the corner, just like kind of hunched over, like sipping the dregs of her coffee.
It's the 80s as well, so you're
She's aching for a cigarette.
in the hospital
Yeah.
ward.
Ashing into the chest cavity.
She's used to the scene. She's seen some dark shit in her time.
Great.
Yeah, she's kind of quiet at the back, just sort of like keeping herself to herself.
You're fantastically tall, right?
Oh yeah, she's like a
Shoulders against the
yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah. She's like a gazelle,
Like a gazelle.
but like a disheveled gazelle, just like sipping her coffee.
The giant is drinking coffee, over.
And then she hears that, and she's like, "God, fucking Ypsilon."
Fantastic. And last but not least,
I think in stark contrast to this kind of very sort of considered / sort of decrepit energy, sort of moving around with sort of like a skittish, almost like puppy-like kind of vibe, is Dickie Cunningham, who is a relatively young occultist, originally from England, has been obsessed with the occult ever since he saw a ghost as a boy. It was 8 carriages long and it was terminating in London. And ever since then, that's been his focus.
That's right.
fantastic. Do you work directly for? Are you an agent for the FBI? Or have you been brought in as a?
I'd like to think he's been sort of brought in. Mostly his work revolves around sort of pamphlets that are distributed around like a small village near like Haywards Heath. And he's been drafted in just probably because he won't stop writing. Yeah. And somebody at the bureau was like, if we just give this guy just throw him one bone, maybe he'll leave us alone or die. So this is a dream for him. So he's kind of just pacing and smoking and pacing.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, Dr. Lowry says, Dr. Sully, if you'd like to begin.
Okay, and Dr. Sully is going to make the first incision. I believe from watching TV shows, from around like the bottom of the throat all the way down to the stomach when they do that first. Yeah, the big zip.
Oh, as you start doing that, Dr. Lowry goes, sorry, I'll take the sheet down first.
I did think he looked strange.
Very pale.
Very pale. Dickie Cunningham thinks that's a ghost.
Wow. They really do have everything on this side of the pond, don't they? Goodness. There's one.
The sheet's removed. I'm gonna make the first incision.
Fantastic. Yeah. Have you done this before? You are a pathologist, right?
Yeah.
You must have done.
Yeah, I've done this before. This is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's sort of 50-ish. White hair. Caucasian. As you make the incision, you notice that there's not like you'd expect him to be stiffer. Given how long it's been. There's a softness to his flesh that you weren't expecting. He cuts very easily. But while you're making that incision, Dr. Lowry's going over the case, and she says, "So this is Dr. Cole Johann Fisher. He was missing from the nuclear power plant up at Howard's Beach for quite a long time, as I understand it, at least a year. He'd been declared missing and then later dead. There were almost no leads. Suddenly his body shows up, washed up on the side of the bay. They found him wrapped up in a sheet, which we kept. We have it in this evidence trunk here. What else to tell you?
Washed up in the bay, trapped in a sheet. It's in the evidence trunk. It's a nice trunk. Yeah. It looks about middle 17th century. Over.
Sharon's rolling her eyes at Epsilon.
Obviously, it's not my place to draw conclusions. I've just been brought in to help you with the autopsy and file a report. But my understanding is that there is some concern, given his position as a nuclear physicist, that there may have been an abduction. This may have been politically motivated.
If I might ask, is this largely what he looked like before he was found again? Not dead, I mean. Has he gained weight? Has he lost weight? Are there any signs that he's been mistreated? I suppose. I mean, perhaps he was held captive? Is that what we're wondering?
Certainly his general Initial appearance looks normal. It doesn't look like he's been subjected to any kind of abuse or malnutrition. But I guess we'll get to the bottom of things. And she helps you open the chest cavity. Oh. How many of you have seen a dead body before?
I definitely have.
Oh.
Oh dear.
I think I've seen a dead body before. There were about 12 of them. They were floating on the surface of a pond and eating bread. That sort of thing?
I think faced with the reality suddenly of this situation, I'm going to need a sanity roll because it's so gruesome.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So my sanity is 60, which not dreadful.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 1, which I believe is a critical success.
That is a critical success. Yeah,
Look at you.
you don't lose any sanity. In fact, you find this fascinating. You probably lean over a bit and have a good butcher's.
Try to get your hand in.
Bread into the cavity.
And I'm practically going to put my head in the cavity. Really in your way.
Wow!
You probably, it'll take a bit of time, but the first thing you notice is his bodily cavity is not what you were expecting. As soon as you open it, it's weird. He seems dried out, but his body doesn't seem to have any fluid in it. It looks like it's been drained of blood, of all liquids, and all the internal organs have been removed except for the heart. Dr. Sully, seeing as you're doing the autopsy, you could give me a medicine roll.
Fantastic.
Or a chemistry roll. Or even a biology roll.
I think my highest is medicine.
Medicine probably makes the most sense.
And that is a 64. That's a regular success.
Fantastic. So, during the course of this examination, you take a few chemical samples, and because you're in quite a good laboratory, you can do it straight away. You find traces of sodium carbonate inside and outside the body. And another substance that initially you find it hard to place what it is. It's like some kind of sticky substance on the inside of the body that is not normal. When you look at it under a microscope, you see that it's made of, it's not animal material. You start to think maybe it's some sort of plant resin.
Looks like he's got a classic case of sticky insides, flabby outsides. I don't know what it is.
I think Sharon approaches the table to take a look, because I think she's seen this before. Okay. This sticky substance on the inside of a body.
You could give me have you got anthropology or archaeology?
I've got anthropology and archaeology. 40 for anthropology.
Yeah, you can give me an anthropology roll if you want. Ooh, 40. Exciting, isn't it?
51, so not great. Yes, my anthropology was 40, and I've lost that.
So because you failed, you
failed.
could spend the luck, which would be 11. You say 51?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to spend 11 points of luck, or you could push the roll, if you can think of a way to do it.
I'm going to push the roll by Sharon just places her coffee down, and then she just gives her hair back, pulls her hair back, just like scrapes it back, and she just gets her whole face right in there and just gives it a proper whiff. And she's like, I feel like maybe someone tries to hold her back, but she just sort of shoves them away. She's quite strong, so.
Yeah, Dr. Lowry's like, Agent
Russo.
Agent Russo, sorry, you're in the way.
I just be like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And then, so she gets right in there. And she gets the doctor out of the way. So can I push it?
Yeah, give us a roll.
Ooh, 3.
Wow. You smell it You smell the tree resin, the tree sap smell. There's another smell, sort of like an incensey kind of smell, like sandalwood or something like that. And immediately you think, you've come across something like this before. This reminds you of something. And the fact the body was wrapped in a sheet,
Yeah.
this feels like, with the organs being removed and everything, but the heart being left in, this feels like the kind of preparation you would do for a mummy. Purifying the body, drying it out, removing everything but the heart. This is what ancient Egyptians would do.
I think Sharon just sort of steps back, straightens herself out, because she knows she's on the money here. And I actually studied mummification back at college. And this looks like surefire signs of a mummification procedure. I actually saw it in a case with a child about 15 years ago. Really spooky child. Yeah. Mummified by its own parents.
Spookier parents than the child, then.
Well, that child looked pretty spooky after that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So yeah, she announces to the room it's a mummification.
Can I have a look at the nose, see if a brain's been pulled through there?
Yeah.
Probably.
You probably don't need to roll
Well,
that, given
Yeah.
what we got anyway.
Oh, yeah, it was 29 years. So
That's fine.
regular success.
Yeah, it looks like the brain cavity's been, the brain's been removed. Yeah, it does feel like Russo. Does it sound like Russo's on the money?
We got some ancient Egyptians on our hands.
I wouldn't go that far, Sully.
Well, they could have traveled in time.
Okay.
Even the occultist is skeptical.
He's shut down. He's just standing there going, wow. Not processing this well. The jet lag is extreme, it turns out.
Dr. Lowry says, Dr. Fisher lived up in Howard's Beach Village. It's about an hour up the coast. Just on the bay there. It's a small community, mostly working at the nuclear power plant, and occasionally some people, I think there's a military base near there for recruits and training. That's pretty much it. So he lived there with his wife. Body was found, like I say, in the reeds nearby, near to the village. That's all we know, really.
Could I pop the trunk open and have a look at the sheet?
Absolutely,
Specifically, I would like to see if there are any kind of like markings, or whether it's just plain, or anything like that. Would occult cover that?
Well, you can give me an occult roll, because there is a marking on it of what looks like an eye.
Okie dokie. My occult is 70, so fingers crossed. That is an 11, which is it's under a fifth.
Fantastic. An extreme success. You recognise the eye immediately. This is the Eye of Horus, classic ancient Egyptian symbol. It's meant to be a symbol of divine power, of healing and protection. But with your extreme success, you also know there is sort of myth around, like, the Greeks and the Romans repurposed Horus to be Harpocrates, who was the god of silence and mysteries as well. A sort of, underworld kind of deity.
Okay. I'd like to just sort of vomit all that information at them while flapping the cloak around. And the symbol of protection, which, as you may be able to tell, hasn't worked brilliantly, but there it is.
What's the symbol like on the sheet in? What material was that? Is it like threaded in, or is it
It's
painted on?
It's painted on. It looks like it's been daubed on in some kind of tar.
It's not
Like it's what
Sharpie, is
waterproof,
it?
because no, it's not Sharpie, unfortunately.
Sharon likes Sharpies.
The sheet has the Eye of Horus emblazoned on it in tar. It looks quite classy, but it's definitely a rush job. Over.
Sharon just sidles over to Ipsilon and goes,
Inside of the trunk is inlaid with velvet. Yeah, that's a nice touch. Over.
"Who are you talking to?"
That's classified.
Sharon's so tempted
Oh, no,
to
I wasn't
just
talking to
like...
you. I was talking to Russo. Yeah, over.
Sharon just sort of mutters under her breath. "Fucking psycho."
Dr. Lowry sort of looks between you and goes, say, "Yeah, you think this is something to do with Egyptian mythology? Why would some, people practicing ancient Egyptian mummification kidnap a nuclear physicist?"
Unless the Soviets have got into the occult.
Yeah,
That'd be
maybe.
quite strange.
Dr. Lowry, what was the wife's name? Did you give us that?
Oh, I can tell you. Her name is Mrs. Lauren Fisher.
Lauren Fisher. And did they have any children?
Yes, I believe they have a little boy called Robert.
And how old is Robert?
Well, he is 6 years old at present.
At present.
Correct.
He will age. Eventually.
Oh, they all age. Yeah. How do you think you got here?
You're right.
I flew.
Thank you.
Russo and Sully are working on a theory about children aging. Over.
I just think it's important, Dr. Lowry, I point out that my area of specialties is spooky children. So,
Agent Russo is showing off. Over.
Dr. Lowry nods and goes, "Uh-huh. I wasn't briefed on who the Bureau would be sending.
Lowry seems skeptical. Over.
But like I say, I'm really just here to do the autopsy and give you the details. And now I'm going to start writing up this report. You want me to put the Egyptian stuff in the report?"
It's probably worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Yes.
absolutely.
Especially if it was found in the reeds. That's sort of.
Yeah.
That's a. We've got Moses there. The reeds were used for papyrus, of course.
She
I think
makes
this is
a
a
note.
sensitive issue, ma'am, and this should be classified. If this is a Russian ploy, it's important this doesn't get out.
Oh, don't worry. This will all be classified. I'll hand it over
Leave
directly.
the Egyptian stuff out.
Leave the Egyptian stuff out?
Epsilon,
Leave
are you
the
crazy?
Egyptian stuff out.
The guy was mummified.
Just leave it out.
She's like, "Oh, okay. I'll just say the organs were removed, except for the heart." "Well, I think we're done here." And she starts covering the body back up. "We'll keep him in cold storage until the case is closed, and then we'll return him to the family." "Well, good luck. I hope you get to the bottom of whatever this is about."
She said good luck, but I don't think she means it. Over.
She immediately starts smoking again.
Maybe we go down to the family house.
That's what I want to do.
Talk to this Lauren Fisher.
And little boy Robert.
6 years old for now.
For now.
Like all of us.
You know.
At any time he could age.
Could be happening right now. You wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't feel it go.
Clock's ticking. Invisible clock.
That son of a bitch.
Weird.
Yeah, I agree. We should go.
Let's go.
Oh, I should say one last thing. If you want to pursue this Egyptological angle, I happen to know the assistant professor at Johns Hopkins Archaeological Museum, so if you ever want to talk to her, just let me know. I don't know what she'll be able to tell you that you don't already know, but, well, it's a good museum. Check it out.
It is. It is a good museum. I have a membership, actually.
Yeah, let me give you her number.
I have a membership.
Dr. Catherine Lane, she's assistant professor in archaeology. There you go. She writes the number down and hands it to you.
Is she single?
Yes.
Oh.
What?
Sorry, the number, is it a single digit or are there several of them?
It's a telephone number, sir.
Oh, I see, yes. We have those in England.
I'm not surprised.
You can see that the Bureau sent their best.
Absolutely. Well, I got a lot of bodies to get through, so I'll let you show yourselves out.
I guess we trundle out. Are we going to make our way to the house?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Well, you step out into busy old Baltimore. You could give me, you could all give me spot hidden rolls if you like. It's sort of midday, lunchtime. It's lunchtime.
Okay. Oh, it's a fail for me.
A regular success for me. I missed it by 1 point to get a hard success.
It's a fail for spot hidden. You say?
Mm-hmm.
It's I was at 40 and I got 66, so it's a fail.
My spot hidden is 45, and I rolled a 20, which is a hard success.
Very nice. 2 successes. So, you guys are probably discussing where to go, what to do.
Smoking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, smoking. You two, on the other hand, you notice sort of over the street. There's like you're walking down the street, and diagonally opposite a crossroads you come to is a little cemetery next to a big brick hall. And maybe you already know this, but that has Edgar Allan Poe's grave, and you see someone stood. They're dressed all in like black suit, long black coat, a hat, like a fedora hat, and they seem to be putting something down on the grave. And then just as you notice them, it's sort of a very casual thing. You're like, oh, that they're dressed a little oddly for 1985. As you're looking at them, maybe it's that thing where they feel your eyes on them, and they sort of turn and look over their shoulder. You only catch like over their coat, just their eyes, and they look at you as if they were expecting to see you, and then they disappear into the cemetery.
I make eye contact with Epsilon. Did you see that kind of way?
Weird.
Over.
Yellow car. Over. That's one for me later. Over. Should we check it out?
Yeah, why not?
I've got your 6.
I don't follow.
Just go.
I'm just going to walk out straight into traffic. Oh! A demon!
Give me a luck roll.
Yeah, sure. Where's me luck?
Just get run over immediately.
Another autopsy.
Oh, that's an 82. So, not brilliant,
dear.
I'd say.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need a dodge roll.
Oh no!
Well,
Let's
my
see how well
my
this
dodge
goes.
is 25. That'll be all right.
This guy's
That's a 19.
Oh,
So,
amazing!
that's a success.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, you nearly get hit by this car that swerves just the right time. You dive out the way. You realise you looked the wrong way when you crossed the road. Classic. And yeah, you get to the other side. It's fine.
The Englishman was almost struck by an automobile. He was also jaywalking. Would you like me to apprehend? Okay, over.
You will have to go walk to the crossing and wait.
I walk to the crossing and wait.
Stop.
Green means go.
So yeah, what do you do when you get to the other side of the road?
I'd probably look around, see where Epsilon is, and then sort of. I'm just going to proceed to the cemetery. Is the person still there, or have they slipped away?
They've slipped away.
Okay.
Slipped away.
I would like to go see what has been placed on the grave.
Yeah, it's a single red rose.
May I try? I'm just going to examine it to see if anything, like a confession, falls out of it. I guess. Could I do like either spot hidden or occult?
Yeah, what would it be? I think
Probably. Spot hidden feels fairer to you.
Yeah, let's have a spot hidden.
Which is 55.
What do you get?
That's 23. I like these dice.
Nice.
It's a hard success.
Fantastic. As you walk up to the grave and you're bending down to look at this rose, you can't help but feel like the earth has been disturbed.
Oh.
Maybe not too obviously, like it's not something you notice straight away. But then you think, has there been a recent burial here? But why would they bury someone on top of Edgar Allan Poe? There's a little like memorial and everything.
Yeah. Is the earth? Is it a large patch of earth that's been disturbed, or is it say small enough that I could sort of kick at it with my toe and try and uncover something?
It's like a small patch.
Okay. Yeah. I'll sort of nonchalantly, which to Cunningham probably means whistling and just kicking his leg back and forth as if he's waiting for somebody to show up. Which, in fairness, he is. I'd like to disturb the earth and see if there is anything shallowly buried there.
Can you give me a power roll, please?
The Englishman is now disturbing a grave. Are you sure you don't want me to apprehend?
Oh, my power's 60. I kick like a mule.
Oh, that's great.
That's 47, so regular success.
Yeah, you kick away. It's lightly packed, as if this has been left for something. But you realise you're going to need to spend some time digging to get to anything. Like there's nothing immediately down there, and you get this weird feeling come over you, like you're being watched.
It's
But
me.
then it
I'm
passes.
right behind you.
And then it goes away.
I'm assuming Epsilon's crossed the road by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably just stood directly behind you,
Okay.
just staring at you.
Look at this, my dear fellow. There's something buried here. I mean, obviously there's lots of things buried here. I mean, something recently buried here that I don't think is a corpse, but could be.
Are you going to dig it up?
I mean, I'd like to, but...
The Englishman wants to dig up something in the grave. Shall I apprehend? They say go ahead.
Okay, great. Will do. I guess I'll just sort of plant my feet either side, just start just digging like a dog.
It's just hitting me.
Like a dog is so funny.
Broad daylight in a public cemetery.
Right, at Edgar Allan Poe's grave. I would be stopping you.
What are you two doing?
I think we're chatting shit.
Yeah.
I think we've seen them go over there, and maybe our conversation has descended into we're maybe waiting for them to come back, but we're just maybe having a general chat about.
Yeah.
Epsilon is so strange,
I
isn't it?
fucking hate Epsilon, man. Why do they always send Epsilon?
I don't know. I don't.
Who the fuck is he talking to?
I don't think there's anyone on the other end.
I don't think it's a power trip.
It's a power trip. Then he can do whatever he wants. And what's going? Why are they? Is he digging like a dog?
Is that the English guy?
I think that's the English guy.
What's his name?
Dickie Cunningham.
Dickie. What a dick.
I know.
Right. Are we gonna go in my car or yours?
Oh, we can go in yours. Yeah.
I hate your car.
Yeah. It's a clown car. It's the only one they had left.
We need you to go out to Baltimore.
It's from the undercover department.
You're undercover in the circus. When you're undercover in the circus.
It's because of that, right? You're undercover in the circus.
Yeah.
They recently had a case where they're undercover.
Yeah.
You can keep the car.
Yeah. Wait, why don't you give that car back, Jaina? Like,
Because you can fit so many people in it. But it's still got great parking.
Send the entire FBI.
One. All these suits. Brilliant.
I just love comedy. That's why I keep it.
Yeah,
And I love the music it plays as you go around.
fair.
That's really inconspicuous.
Not today, though. Like,
We'll take your car
Yeah.
instead.
Jesus Christ.
What does the siren sound like?
mine.
When you honk the horn, it squirts.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
And the bonnet comes up.
It's trundling up and down like this with loads of FBI agents in there.
Also, I can't fit in your car because I'm so tall. I'm like,
That's the best part. That's the best part of the trick is when one of your really long legs comes out the door, and then you.
It's like the Simpsons episode of the really tall man.
Are you making fun of my automobile?
Leaves out the window.
Like a praying mantis getting out of a matchbox.
That's it. That's Sharon.
And when it arrives anywhere, it all like destroys itself every single time. So it's just a tiny little.
Oh, it's just you holding a wheel floating.
The brakes never work. So it's just
Bits flying off it.
right. Let's have a group luck roll from you two.
Uh-oh.
Who's got the lowest luck?
My luck's 55.
60 for me.
Just Laurie needs to roll this then.
Okay, I've rolled a 52. That's a success,
very nice.
baby.
Very
Can't
nice.
keep this
So-
guy down.
You dig away at Edgar Allan Poe's grave.
Yeah.
And luckily, no one comes along
Goodness.
to disturb you. It's a quiet afternoon in downtown Baltimore. And yeah, you dig long enough that you do reach a coffin. You can't get the whole coffin out, but it's just like the corner of one. Presumably, this is Edgar Allan Poe's coffin. It's a bit rotted, and damaged.
So I could probably have a peek.
You could probably have a peek. It's a bit dark, and you probably had to climb in quite a bit. You probably only got this much to work with.
Okay.
But there's a bit of a crack in it. It's rotted away.
I'll have a peek.
Yeah, all right. Presume you got a little flashlight or something.
Yeah.
Bureau standard. Let's have a sanity roll.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, sanity 60 for now. That is 51.
Very nice.
So you lose one sanity point anyway, because what you see is not human. It is the decomposed face of what looks like a kind of half man, half baboon. It's got big teeth. Obviously the eyes have rotted away, and but the bone structure that's revealed is it's too big to be human. And you catch a glint of something in there, deeper down. So you have to sort of angle it, but you can see some things glinting off in the cavity down there. You'd have to sort of put your hand in and reach underneath, down into the body of what you assume is Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay, in for a penny. I'll have a fish around in there.
Yeah, so you're fishing around inside this body, and you get to where you think is probably roughly where the heart is, that sort of area of the chest, and you feel something cold and metal.
Yeah.
Sharp edges.
Okay, I'll try and gingerly remove it.
Yeah, you pull out what looks to be it's sort of about that big, and it's a kind of pyramid, metal pyramid, perfectly smooth on every side.
Right. Can I clamber out of the grave of Edgar Allan Poe?
Yeah.
Desecration complete, and try and get a better look at it in the sunlight, and also show it to Epsilon.
Have I seen all of this happening?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, fully desecrated a grave. Horrible teeth. Dreadful, awful teeth. Yeah, well, he is English. Over.
This is absolutely fascinating. That I saw something like this once when we were investigating a forest spirit. There were 568 millilitres of it, and it was 4% alcohol by volume. Lovely crisp finish. Look.
I take it. Well, what do I want to do with it? I think I just want to classify it immediately. I think I just want to
Why
pocket
did
it
I
and
give
just
it to
walk
Epsilon?
away.
Of course.
Yeah, what do I like? Is there
Flash.
is
You
there?
flash Dicky's eyes.
Yeah,
Where am I?
I guess yeah. I'm going to look for. Is it just completely smooth on all sides?
Yeah.
Can I press to see if there is some sort of hidden indentation? If anything twists, if anything will button in.
You poke and press it and twist it a bit, but nothing gives. It seems to be one perfectly complete whole block of metal, but it's very light.
Oh, can I tap it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't bop it. You should try that.
I should pop it, twist it.
You tap it and there's this. It does ring out, but not in a high-pitched way. It's this sort of resonant but very soft.
This is clearly useless.
In fact, can you give me a power roll?
Oh yeah. Power of 60. And that is a 75.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, the voice in your ear says, Agent Ypsilon, I think you should hold on to that for now.
Received. Over.
It shouldn't fall into the wrong hands. We can't really trust the others with it either.
This item has been classified. I will hold on to it.
Okay.
I'll just turn and walk away.
Right.
I feel like Sharon and Drainer are getting kind of antsy across the street, and probably Sharon shouts over and goes, "Yo, Dickie!" Like, yeah,
Honking
incredible
the crap.
whistle that I can't do.
Yeah.
And her like just big, long, gangly arm, just like, "Yo!"
There you go.
Oh,
Do you enjoy that, Ben?
Very good.
Very good. What's taking so long? And like shouts over and beckons to them like to come back.
coming! Straight back into traffic.
I'll make the crossing.
Yeah.
That's now 2 offences.
I think Sharon's suspicious of what's been going on over there, and basically like sidles up to Dickie much too close.
Who's covered in mud.
Yeah, I was like, "What happened to you?"
Did you know Edgar Allan Poe was a sort of baboon man?
No, what are you talking about?
Cherished poet Edgar Allan Poe was some sort of baboon man.
Why are you covered in mud?
What? How do you think I found out about Edgar Allan Poe?
You've been digging up Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
Why?
Well, there was a suspicious-looking person there who placed a rose on the grave. Epsilon saw it, didn't you, Epsilon?
Classified.
You know, people place flowers on graves like all the time.
Yeah, we do it in England.
And you dig up the grave immediately?
I've never really had reason to before.
Jesus. So he's a baboon man, hey?
Yeah, baboon man.
Okay.
You know what they say about 1,000 monkeys with 1,000 typewriters?
A lot of books.
You might have been one of those monkeys. That's why he's so successful.
A lot of books.
I'm bored of writing Shakespeare. I want to do my own thing.
Okay.
You guys are all sheep. Fall of the House of Usher.
if that one monkey was just churning out greatness, they were like, I think Shakespeare's probably in here somewhere, but this shit's great.
Ooh, that's good.
This is another Simpsons episode. It was the worst of times. It was the blurst of times.
Stupid monkey.
Stupid monkey.
Oh,
Got loads of Simpsons references already. We got the big guy.
Yeah.
We got the...
Yeah, so many.
This is essentially a Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
I feel like, can Sharon see, like, how big is this pyramid? Can she see it on Ipsilon's person?
It's about the size of a face.
So it'd be hard to just put in your pocket, right?
Yeah. It's probably bulging out of his suit.
Can I try and see if I can see it?
Can I try and use stealth to hide it?
Yeah, this would be an opposed roll.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be Laurie rolling stealth and Lucy rolling. You just trying to look at it.
Yeah, or just to notice, like, hey, just to be able to say what's in your pocket, basically.
Yeah, so
My stealth is 70.
Not hidden.
he's jammed it into his armpit, causing extensive nerve damage.
Ooh,
but it
that's
fits.
bad.
My spot hidden ability. And I rolled 38.
Very good.
Just.
Yeah, I failed. I rolled 80.
There's
70.
an obvious bulge to an obvious triangular bulge to his suit.
Ipsilon, you got a pyramid in your pocket? You're just happy to see me.
I can neither confirm nor deny, ma'am.
Why is there? What is that? What is that? Is it an ice cream cone?
I'm merely here to observe.
Get it out.
I can't.
Why not?
Official orders
Well,
From who?
from my handler.
Mm-hmm. And they work for the Bureau as well?
I work for the Bureau. I've been sent to make sure this mission goes well.
yeah. Well, this mission doesn't go well unless we know everything.
This is unconnected.
Do you know what it is?
Oh yes, I had a good look at it.
Go on, Dickie, tell us.
It's like a smooth gold pyramid, and it was in the chest cavity of Edgar Allan Poe, Baboon Man, right about where his heart would be.
Great.
The Englishman is clearly addled. He was almost hit by a car.
I think Sharon actually obviously trusts Dickie in this situation because he's the one covered in mud. So she sort of just like kind of ignores Ipsilon. And she's like, right, we should go to the
Go to the house.
house. Although, if there is a pyramid,
Maybe we go
maybe
to...
split
Yeah.
because John Hopkins, Uni, Catherine. Maybe I think Sharon sidles up to Dickie and says, there's a pyramid in his pocket. Catherine, what's her face? John Hopkins University. Maybe it's important we go there.
Oh, Dr. Lane. Yeah. Yes, that sounds good. Perhaps I can freshen up a bit first.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Epsilon, you can come with me in my car.
Wait, are you going to the family?
I'll go to the family.
Ah, but I want to meet that spooky kid.
I should say that the Howard's Beach is it was over an hour away up the coast.
Okay.
So you might want to go there together.
Yeah, so maybe Sharon says oh yeah, we'll go to the house. Wink, wink, but is going to drive them all to John Hopkins because he doesn't want to go there. Probably, I'm assuming.
Item is secure. Yeah, they bought it. Over.
I think Sharon announced to the crew, right, we're all going to take my ride. You can freshen up when we get there,
Sure.
maybe. I've got a towel in the back. You can sit on that.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Like a dog.
Yeah, like a dog. Yeah.
But when you open the car, Sharon's car is just filthy anyway. There's coffee stains everywhere. The towel is basically black. She's used it to clean the back of clean the engine at some point.
Fantastic. Yes, you're driving off to the Archaeological Museum.
I think so, yeah.
So you drive up. It's a very nice, sort of classical, sort of East Coast campus-style building. It's, I don't know what you call those sorts of buildings, but it's got a little clock tower, and it's all very symmetrical, a very nice landscaped park area. Anyway, you drive up the driveway and go inside, where there's an old man on the front desk who's just sat there. Oh, we're not doing tours at the moment.
No, we're from the FBI. We're here to talk to
What?
Dr. Catherine Lane.
She working for them? She Pinko, huh? I knew it. All these academic types are all the same.
No.
They just want to see this place burn to the ground. They'd have us all, I don't know, paying more taxes and having better access to social welfare.
No, she's not a...
Where does the character end and Dom begin?
She's not a communist. It's just we need to ask her a few questions.
All right, because she's friends with communists. I bet. Yeah, let me get her for you. Yeah, one moment, please. And he picks up the internal phone. Yeah, it's the front desk. I need to speak to Dr. Lane. Dr. Lane? Yeah, well, I got some people down here, suits from Washington, D.C. I think your number's up, Catherine. They're on to you and your little circle of friends. Yeah. I mean the FBI. Yeah, nice try, Catherine. Well, they're waiting for you here. I'll tell them to keep an eye on the back door. No point running, Catherine. Yeah. Goodbye. He hung up. Yeah, I'd keep an eye out. She'll try to run. Trust me. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. I hate these snooty academic types.
Why do you work here, then?
I gotta get a job. I gotta have a job. I'm not gonna depend on the state.
Oh, you're ideologically consistent.
Absolutely. And I love all this old stuff. It's a fantastic museum. Check it out.
We're not here to arrest Dr. Catherine Lane.
She's helping us with a case.
All right. I get it. You can't say. I understand.
No, we are saying.
Don't worry. You won't hear a peep out of me. But if I notice any other unusual activity on campus, don't worry. I'll call. I always do. And he picks up the paper. He carries away the paper. Look at this. More Pinko nonsense. Study the pages.
It's reading Calvin and Hobbes.
And after a short period of time, a young woman, sort of auburn hair, kind of quite energetically comes in and says, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Catherine Lane, and to what do I owe the honor of a visit from the FBI?
The man is dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes. Man.
But I should tell you, if this is in relation to Mr. Price here and what he's been
No.
writing to you about, I can assure you that there's no communist activity on campus that I've noticed, except for the usual student activism.
Perhaps we can talk somewhere more in private.
Of course, come with me straight through here. And she takes you through into sort of one of the main exhibition rooms. And she says, yeah, we're closed temporarily for cleaning, but we'll be safe to talk here.
This isn't about communist activity. This is about a man who, Dr. Fisher, a nuclear scientist who turned up dead, and during the autopsy, we noticed that he might well have had a sort of mummification process happened to him in some way, which we found to be extremely odd. Also, there's some other business with the Golden Pyramid, but let's stick on Dr. Fisher for the moment.
Golden Pyramid, you say?
Yes. Earlier today, we discovered in the gravesite, and sounds unbelievable, but Edgar Allan Poe, Poe's body was no longer there, but a baboon man of some kind, and inside was a golden pyramid, which Agent Epsilon has, but he refuses to show us for no discernible reason.
Uh-huh.
We haven't ruled out the possibility that the baboon man was Poe.
Sorry, rewind just a moment. The baboon man, you dug up a baboon man.
Dr. Lang, as you can see, our English colleague here is still covered in mud, so...
Uh-huh. So you dug up, where was this? At the grave of
Edgar Allan Poe, yes.
And the baboon man was directly in that grave?
Yes. Yeah, the soil had been recently disturbed, though. Very easy to dig through.
Ah, so you think it may have been a swap?
Most likely.
From what I understand, the grave marker is not actually the site where Edgar Allan Poe was buried anyway.
Oh.
So why
They've moved it a couple of times.
Why is the grave there?
Oh, it's just the nearest estimate, I think. But there's a baboon man down there. How do you know it was a baboon man and not just a baboon?
No, you're right. How sexist of me. I don't know. I didn't get a good look at the femurs.
Look,
No, you know what? I don't know.
we're not... Dr. Lane.
She says, I get it all the time. Working in this profession as a woman in 1985, I get that a lot. We found a mummy man. Oh, sure.
The two women lived together their whole lives. They were great friends. Dickie Cunningham is immediately smitten, by the way, with
Yeah, of course.
with Dr. Lane.
That's understandable. She's smoking hot.
Dr. Lane, we're not biologists here. We want to know why a solid gold pyramid might be placed inside the cavity of a body. Have you ever come across this?
Golden pyramid being placed inside a body. That's certainly not something that I've come across in my Egyptological studies or any archaeological study that I can think of. It's not a practice that I've heard about. But, what did this pyramid look like? How big was it?
Well, you might be able to notice it in Agent Ypsilon's pocket, but he is refusing to take it out.
They wish to see the item. Can I show them? This item is classified.
Sharon is going to get that pyramid out of that pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
By force.
It's going to reach down and scoop him up.
Let me just see
Right
the
now.
stats. Oh, you don't want to do this.
I don't want to do this. Well, what about... Well, I'm
Oh,
strong,
go
you're
on.
strong. We're both strong.
Yeah, go on, do it.
Absolutely.
Is it strength roll?
It would be
A brawl roll?
fighting brawl, I think.
It would be
if it's gonna
fighting.
if it's going to be by force, yeah, I think you'd fight.
Could I... Oh, is it possible to just like... Can't I just like sort of pin him against a wall and just take it out?
You could try. It would still be fighting brawl. It's not going to be pinning anyone.
Let's do
I'll
it.
resist.
Yeah, of course.
What about tickling?
Oh no! That's much better than me.
Yeah.
It's got awfully long limbs.
I feel like we should do it though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're welcome to. So this is what? How are you reacting? You're just.
I'm just going to push back. So
Okay.
brawl.
Yeah.
I have 50.
I have 35.
Whoever gets the better degree of success. You can spend luck on combat rolls, but you can't.
I'll spend 1 luck.
Oh.
So it's a regular success.
What have you rolled?
85. 85.
I won't spend that luck. I was going to spend the luck to make it an extreme success.
Oh,
but a hard
wow.
success.
Wow. So yeah, are you trying to do a maneuver? Or you just how do you?
I literally am just going to push her back
Yeah.
to arm's length, and then I'm going to take a thread of piano wire out of my pocket and just say, Agent Russo, you do not want to do this.
It's not my place to. I don't know what this is about, but I think I can guess what it looks like. Does it look something like? Come with me, and she walks you up some stairs onto like a sort of balcony level, where there are various displays and things. And she walks along, and she goes, "Does it look anything like this?" And she points to, it's. You know, and you know, it looks exactly the same.
Dickie?
It's maybe a bit more battered, like weathered. It's not as clean. Like it's got like,
What do you
what's the word? Patination on it. you know.
Yeah, tarnished.
Tarnished.
Yes,
yeah.
that's the badger.
Excuse me, what?
That's the badger?
That's not a badger.
That's a pyramid.
It's
No,
a pyramid. Is that the pyramid?
Yes, that's the pyramid.
Why'd you call it a badger?
It's just an idiom. I think I know what a badger looks like.
The Englishman has admitted to being an idiom.
Very good. She says this was recovered from part of Central America. It's been dated to over 5,000 years old.
Ah.
And you're interested in that sort of thing? Dating, I mean.
I have to do a lot of that for my work, yes.
Okay. Oh, good. Interesting. I sort of try and tuck my hair behind my ear and smear mud on my cheek.
Well, this isn't really my area of expertise, but yeah, we don't really know what it is or where it comes from. Or
Central America, you say?
yes, I believe so. Yeah.
So
correct.
it's not Egyptian.
No,
Oh.
Hmm.
Interesting.
but we have absolutely no idea what it's for or what purpose it serves. One of those mysteries that hopefully we'll solve one day.
Why is it in this museum then?
Oh, because it's an antiquity. I mean, it belongs in a museum
Understood.
until we know what it is, what it's for. If it has something to do with Edgar Allan Poe or a baboon, well, that's all information that I'm sure would be useful to us. If you ever decide you want to show us this other pyramid, then I'm sure the museum would be very happy to assist you in trying to understand it.
Do you know anything about the Eye of Horus? You could tell us about?
It's the Wedget eye. It's the left eye. It's the counterpart to the Eye of Ra, which is the other eye. It represents healing, protection in ancient Egyptian mythology.
Do you know
don't
anything
really-
about how maybe it might be involved with some kind of cultish behaviors, any rituals or anything like that?
I believe it gets used in the occult. Again, that's not really my field of expertise, but my understanding is that it is used in contemporary ritual settings for occult reasons. Thanks to the modern occult movement, I think it was used by Aleister Crowley, people like that. But a lot of that kind of borrowing of symbols goes on. There's nothing particularly unusual about that.
And why did the Egyptians mummify people? Do you know that?
It's just
Yes, why did they mummify people? Do you know that?
Please do tell.
well,
Integral to the mission.
I guess every day's a school day.
And when did they find the Rosetta Stone again?
What would they eat for breakfast?
Yes, belief in the afterlife is mainly the reason. They believed that the heart was, unlike today where we believe our consciousness rests in our brain in some way. Even that we don't fully understand. The Egyptians believed that our consciousness, our soul, rests in our heart. So all the other organs were removed to allow your body to be as preserved as it could be on its journey into the afterlife. For them, the journey to the afterlife was physical as well as metaphysical.
And Dr. Lane, would people mummify corpses in sacrifice as well?
There is talk of pharaohs, for instance, having people, their servants, their family members, their pets mummified with them.
Mm-hmm.
How much ritual sacrifice actually went on is hard to be sure. And ancient Egypt was around for a very long time, and I'm sure things came into and out of fashion during that period. So I wouldn't rule it out, certainly.
I think we need to consider the possibility that Dr. Fisher was put through that as a mark of respect.
I'm starting to wonder this as well.
Maybe he's top of the cult, or near the top.
Was there any mummification in Central America as well?
There have been examples of mummification in Aztec and Incan culture, ancient Chinese culture. It's not unheard of. And pyramids, of course, as well. Whether there's a connection there, I couldn't say. It might make an interesting thesis for someone, I guess. What is this about? You say there was a physicist who died?
Yes, a nuclear scientist, Dr. Fisher, turned up dead, what was it, by some reeds?
Yeah, in the bay.
In the bay.
In Baltimore.
Whereabouts do you say?
That's a great...
Oh, Howard's Beach.
Oh, it was Howard
Oh,
Beach.
Howard's Beach.
Did turn up at Howard's Beach.
Wow. That's near the... So he was working at the nuclear plant, I guess.
Yes.
Yes, he was. He lived locally as well.
Before he went missing for a year. How much of this should we be divulging?
This is all classified.
Okay, not supposed to tell you this, but yeah, he was missing for a year. We're going to go up there, actually. Would you like to come with us?
I have a lot to do here, but I hope you get to the bottom of things. Hope it's nothing too sinister. If you do decide to let us have a look at that pyramid, give me a call.
Will do. What is your number?
Oh, it's sure. And she hands you the number. That's my office number. You can get me during work hours.
Oh, yes, of course. Will do.
Russo doesn't trust Dr. Lane. There's something fishy going on. So I want to roll to. Can I do a spot hidden if I'm just don't?
Or it'd be psychology, maybe?
Oh yeah, actually I could do that.
You could do a psychology roll.
I got
for
good
sure.
psychology.
Something fishy.
Yeah.
Fisher.
My psychology is 52.
Ooh, very good.
Come on, baby.
Come to mama.
Yes.
Yes.
Extreme success 12.
Oh, very good.
All of us the same noise.
Oh, very good.
Which is the most un-Russo thing to do. She just sort of looks deep into her eyes.
There's something she's not telling you.
Yeah.
There was a flicker of recognition when you said, did you say his name, Dr. Fisher?
Yeah.
There's a flicker of recognition. She's pretending she doesn't know something.
Yeah.
She's obfuscating, for sure.
Can I ask her about that? Yeah.
Really? What do you say?
I think I say, Dr. Lane, you seem, do you know the area? Are you from Howard's Beach? Seem to be like you might be familiar.
No, I went up there once on a fishing trip. But...
You know about the plant? The plant?
Oh, you can't miss it.
Oh, right.
It's right there on the bay.
Fishing trip, huh?
Mhm.
Good fishing?
Not great.
No, not great.
I think probably the power plant has disturbed a lot of the local fauna.
Yeah. He was quite respected in his field, though, Dr. Fisher.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pretty well known in the area as well. Probably came across him. It's not a big place.
I can't recall.
Right.
But I can recommend a guest house up there.
Oh,
I had a nice time staying there.
great. Could you give me the details? Sharon gets a gnarly
Yeah. Just
gnarly,
just
yeah.
remember what I call this guest house.
notepad out and a Sharpie. Gives it a quick whiff.
I'm imagining one of her nostrils is just black on the inside.
Oh, it is.
I'm sniffing Sharpies so much.
Sniffing so many Sharpies. To the addiction.
It's a small bed and breakfast run by a lovely couple, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's called the Fox and Mule Deer Guest House.
Fox and Mule Deer, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Thank you very much.
Fox and
Dr.
Mule Deer.
Oh, for
Fox and Mule.
Fox and Mule Deer. Fox and Mule Deer.
It's almost so subtle you can't get it.
Do they have ashtrays in the room? I'm something of a smoking man myself.
Oh. Oh, yeah, they got ashtrays in the room. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been fishing with my dad a few times. How come you chose that as a spot to fish?
You see a bead of sweat just pour down her head. She was so energetic and cool earlier, and now she's she's clearly like a mule deer in headlights. She says, well, I was invited out there for fishing isn't really my thing, but I said I'd go.
With who?
Just a friend.
Have I also? Is it obvious that she's definitely hiding something, or is it like?
I think it's probably obvious.
Yeah. You know, it's a crime to lie to a federal agent, Dr. Lane.
All right, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want you to think that I had anything to do with it, but I don't think it's relevant to your case. But I did meet Dr. Fisher once. He asked me to go out there. He got in touch because he had found an artifact that he wanted dated, wanted information on, and he didn't want to come into the city. He wanted me to go out there, so I did. He did take me fishing. It was not a successful trip for the fishing or the museum because I couldn't place the item. It was something his father had given him that he himself had picked up in the 60s. I couldn't really tell him much about it, but I offered to buy it from him for the museum's collection. He refused, and when I pressed him on it, he got angry and asked me to leave. So I did.
Could you describe the artifact?
Oh, it's a small stone, kind of an unusual material. One of the reasons I wanted to take it with me was so we could study it in a lab, but unfortunately, he wouldn't give me the opportunity.
And you say it's something his father had from the 60s he picked up. Where did he pick it up?
That he didn't say. He just showed me a photograph he found with his father wearing it.
Wearing it?
Uh-huh.
It was a stone you could wear? Like
It
an
was on a
amulet?
chain.
It was on a chain, like an amulet of some kind.
That kind of thing, yeah. Like I say, I doubt it'll be relevant to your case, or at least I hope it isn't. I hope he didn't get himself into trouble about it. But it was shortly before he went missing. I did read that in the paper.
Right.
I didn't feel it appropriate to reach out at the time because I didn't really know the guy.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Lane. I think unless anybody has any further questions.
No, you've been very helpful. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and you have my number if you think of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And check out the Starlight Diner. Great burgers if you do go up to Howard's Beach.
I think we'll be going there right away.
Can I hang back when everyone leaves?
Yeah.
We're headed out.
I'm just going to speak to Dr. Lane very quickly to say, Dr. Lane, what you've been told today is highly classified.
I understand.
You must keep it to yourself. Otherwise, I'll be back.
Okay. That's fine. That's good. Good then. Well, I hope we never see each other again.
I do too. I'm going to wait and just stare at her and see if she leaves the room.
Yeah, she just sort of backs out.
Great. Can I steal that pyramid, please?
Yeah.
Yes! Looks like something's getting classified.
This whole museum's classified.
So I'm just smearing black on everything so you can't see it.
And that's redacted, and that's redacted.
Yeah, how are you doing this?
I'm just going to try to use sleight of hand to just take it out of the case.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give me a roll.
That is a 65. I'm going to spend luck. I'm going to spend 15 points of luck to make that a success.
Ka-ching! So you manage to open the case. You can see that there is like a sensor that you manage to just sort of manipulate yourself around. You take it out, put it in your other inner jacket pocket so you look like Madonna.
Got like a real Barbarella vibe going on.
But actually, as you pick it up and you turn it over, can you give me a spot hidden roll?
Certainly. Spot hidden is 45. That is a hard success. I rolled 13.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you pick it up and then you feel something on your hand. So you turn your hand over and there is a huge, it looks like a horsefly at first, but it's like this big, big thing just on your hand. And the more you look at it, the more you realise it's like no insect you've ever seen, and then it just scuttles up your sleeve.
Ooh.
Off the pyramid and oh god, where's it come from?
But can you give me a sanity roll?
I certainly can. My sanity is 60. And that is a wonderful, beautiful 62.
Oh, was that fail? Oh
Yeah.
dear. Let's just find out. Use one sanity point.
Oh, yay!
After all of that.
After all of what?
After all of nothing, because we didn't see anything. It all just happened very seamlessly. Thank you.
Also, as we're making our way out, can I just stop by the guy at the door and just say, just flash my badge, Special Agent Whately. Keep an eye on that lane. And I just hand a business card with Whately on it to him.
Oh, no. I knew it. I knew it. And he puts the business card in his pocket and he goes,
If you hear anything about what's discussed today from Lane, call me immediately.
I will. And hey, as you're walking out, he goes, hey, I got a list of names. I got a book. I'll send it. I'll send it to the bureau.
Is that thing still up his arm?
You can't feel it anymore.
Yeah, I slapped my arm, so
Yeah, must be fine. Must be fine.
Must be fine.
And then you, your handler comes in over your ear, but the voice is slightly different this time. And it says,
You must be Agent Ypsilon.
Who am I talking to? Over.
I'm going to be handling things from now on. You don't need to worry about it.
What happened to Sophie?
Sophie and I are working together. She's just taking a little break.
Understood. Over.
You've got the pyramids, haven't you?
The items have been obtained.
Excellent. Only you can be trusted with them, Agent Epsilon.
Understood. I'll await further orders.
We'll have a lot of work to do at Howard's Beach. Please stand by.
and then the voice goes away. And you all get into the car and begin the long drive up to Howard's Beach. So you drive out to Howard's Beach. It's a long drive up the coast of Chesapeake Bay. Who's driving? Okay.
It's my car.
Can I have a spot hidden roll, please? Ooh. Is it ugly?
Oh, it's ugly. That's
Yes, that's really ugly.
96.
96. What's your spot hidden?
Oh, 40.
That's a fumble.
That's not good for a driver to do.
I had it all. I had the dice all upside down. I went, oh, maybe it's good. I was tricking myself. It's very bad. The opposite.
So, what you see as you're driving along.
Do I rub my eyeballs because it's that bad?
This isn't helping.
Do I just put grease in them?
And a nice
Do I
slug
just
of
get some of my coffee in them? I've seen nothing.
No,
Dad
it's worse
arrives
than
with a
that.
sheet full of tar.
So, I think because you fumbled, what happens is you're driving along. You've got out of Baltimore, and it's all turned into countryside essentially. And you look in the rearview mirror, and you see the car behind you. You don't think anything of it, but there's not much other traffic around. After another 20 minutes, the car is still following you, and you get this horrible feeling like they are following you because they're keeping just enough distance. And you try slowing down a bit, and they slow down, and you speed up, and they speed up, and they're keeping the same pace, you realise. And you see the face of the guy. He is dressed kind of oddly. He's dressed in a black suit, wearing a long coat with a fedora hat just over his face. And then you realise his face is kind of strange because he's not really watching the road. He's like this.
Oh.
But his arms are moving.
Oh.
And can you give me a sanity roll?
You're not very sane. You're not very sane.
Your sanity 35.
What could possibly go wrong?
This is so
You indicate and turn directly into the ocean.
To meet your dark master.
Higher or lower?
Lower.
Yes,
You want to be lower. You want to be under 35.
Higher or lower?
Those were the days.
Higher or lower?
Tell me about it.
50.
Oh dear. Yeah, you suddenly you get overwhelmed with this feeling of nausea. Who is this man? What's he doing? And you lose a sanity point. He's definitely following you. And there's definitely something wrong with him. You're sort of having this internal monologue, thinking about it, and then you look again, the car's gone. He must have turned off, right? Was there a turning off? I don't remember there being one, but you weren't really concentrating. So you sort of focus back on the road. And eventually you all arrive in Howard's Beach. There's a sort of inlet. It's quite desolate around here. It's just sort of scrub grass, gently rolling landscape. It's bright, but the sky is thick with pale grey clouds. The sea looks grey and choppy. As you approach Howard's Beach, it's a small community just sort of nestled right on the coast. On the other side of the inlet, you can see the sort of shimmering outline of the nuclear power plant. You can see its smoke billowing up ways away across the water. And here you are. You drive into the village, you pass the Starlight Diner on one side, but it looks really run down, like it might be derelict. It's sort of, the windows are boarded up. You see a very like spick and span house. They're all quite spick and span, these houses, but a bit drab. The whole atmosphere is quite depressing. But there is this very spick and span house with a little sign at the front that says Fox and Mule Deer Guest House.
Of course.
Do you get it yet?
Do you believe?
Yeah.
The joke is out there. And then here you are. It's very small, but You got given his address, right? You got given his address, I think.
I think Dr. Larry probably gave us the details. I don't know if we actually...
Yeah, so you were probably given the details of
files.
of the address, and you probably would have a case file actually. So it would also tell you roughly where the body was found on a map as well.
Oh yeah, we're going straight to the house.
Again, sort of spick and span, detached, suburban-looking house.
How far are we from the water?
Not too far. It would be like a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
And the house overlooks the sea. You can see like all kinds of things. The nuclear plant, the grey sky, the grey water. It looks like there's a little island out there as well, with some sort of structure on it, maybe a lighthouse. But it's quite far away. The visibility isn't great out at sea because there's like a lot of mist. But yeah.
Let's go knock on the door.
Yeah, find out if that child's still 6.
Let's find out if little Robert's 6 years old. Maybe he's aged in the last 24 hours.
It could happen at any time.
Yeah. Or maybe he's stopped since his father's been missing. No, let's knock on the door.
He's been 6 years old for at least a day.
We could go on and on about the aging process in children. And let's not.
And in all of us, it's all the same.
Or is it? No, let's
So you knock on the door, and it's very quiet. All the streets are quiet, actually. There's maybe one person on the street, ways away. They're watching you a little bit, because they're obviously like these suits that have turned up in this small village. You could... you could...
Is that your pyramid?
I tell you what.
It's my weapon.
Oh, I see. Well,
You wait there for a minute, and then the door is answered by what looks to be a 6-year-old boy.
Looks to be. Okay.
Cut him open, count the rings. We're going to work this out.
He's clutching a thick wad of what looks like it's a colouring in book under his arm, or drawing book, you know. He's got a crayon in one hand.
I think Sharon bends down and says, "Oh, hi, little Robert. We're here to speak to your mother. Is she at home?"
Yeah. Mom? She's not too well, but yeah, she'll come down in a minute.
Great. Can we come inside, please?
He sort of stands back and gestures for you to come in, and you usher yourselves into the hallway of this house, and you hear the creaking floorboards from upstairs, and a woman appears at the top of the stairs. She's in a dressing gown. She looks tired, and she says, "Who is it? What do you want?" Bobby, you're not supposed to just let people in the house. Oh, and he runs up the stairs past her and goes away. And then she comes down and she sort of sizes you all up and says, "Oh, what is this?"
Hello, are you Lauren Fisher?
That's right. Who's asking?
My name is Agent Drainer Sully, and we're part of the... we're from the FBI. We've come to ask you a few questions about your late husband.
I already answered all the questions. I don't know anything else. You found him yet?
Yes.
Most of him.
What?
We thought you'd perhaps been informed before, but I suppose you haven't. Yes, your husband's body showed up just the other day in the reeds.
So he's dead.
I'm afraid to say he is.
I mean, I guess I knew as much deep down, but still, it's shocked to hear it. I guess you better come in. This way. I wasn't expecting guests, she says, gesturing to her, clothing. And she takes you through into the kitchen, where there's a sort of breakfast counter with stools or whatever. And she gestures for you to sit down or whatever, and she says, "You want coffee?"
Yeah, that'd be great.
So she gets a pot of coffee and starts pouring it out. And she sits at the breakfast bar, nurses the coffee, and says, "So what, they sent 4 of you to tell me he's dead?"
No, not quite. We're investigating the case at the moment. There were some strange things found to do with your husband's body, and we wanted to...
Was it murder? Or did he kill himself?
I doubt very much it was a suicide.
But it wasn't an accident either.
That also is highly unlikely.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did your husband have any enemies?
I don't know. I guess it's possible. He was always a very secretive man. He kept his work and his family very separate. And he probably had good reason.
It is advisable in the case of nuclear materials to keep them separate from one's family, yeah.
What about nuclear families?
She says, well, I doubt that would have mattered. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone in this town's irradiated. We live so close to that place. There's something wrong in the water anyway. There's no fish anymore. But it doesn't sound like he died from exposure.
No, it was not radiation poisoning. We just wondered if your husband had any connections to anything of the occult or cultish goings on.
The occult? This was something to do with the occult? Not the Russians?
We don't think the Russians are involved.
Well, then who? I just assumed they must have kidnapped him, or... I mean, I considered the idea that maybe he was working for them, of course, but you don't like to think about that, about someone that close to you. You like to imagine you know everything about them, but truth be told, I could never say for certain that I knew everything about him. About Carl.
Mrs. Fisher, we're still investigating it all, so nothing's certain yet. We did speak to a colleague of your husband's, Dr. Lane. They'd been in contact about an artifact that your late husband had received from his father, a stone of some kind. Do you know anything about this?
You think this is something to do with his disappearance?
Well, we just are aware that an academic connected with the occult and some classified information about your husband's body. They had a connection before he died, this academic and your husband. She said that she came out here to look at a stone that your husband had. His father found it in the 60s.
She came out here? When was this?
I think about a year ago. It was shortly before your husband went missing. A Dr. Catherine Lane.
I don't know anything about that.
They went on a fishing trip together?
What? I remember him talking about that stone. Yeah, his dad gave it to him. But his father has an interesting history. One we don't like to talk about.
Well, any information would be very helpful.
You're sure he didn't kill himself?
We don't think that would be possible.
Why?
The way in which we found the body, at the very least, if he'd killed himself, people tampered with his body afterwards.
Well, as long as he didn't kill himself. You could give me a psychology roll if you want. Any of you could.
I've got. What have you got? You've
I've
good
got.
as well.
We could both do it.
Could we both do it?
We could do it together.
Absolutely.
I think it's safer
I've
if I
got-
don't attempt this.
I've got 40,
I'm not
but you've got
52.
Yeah. That is.
Mine's an
a-
extreme success.
And I've got a 1.
Oh,
Oh, you've got a
fantastic.
1, brilliant, and I got a 9. Well, we did well together, didn't we? Woo!
Oh, rubbish. Very good.
You got to look at the elbow.
Yeah.
Whoa! Told you!
Oh, that's
Look
how
at
you
the
fucking
elbow.
do it.
So she says, well, I'm glad he didn't kill himself. And then you two look at each other and go,
We're great at this.
She's so comforted. What a great bedside manner you both have.
So well as well with our bedside
I
manner.
really like being sensitive. Getting
Very
information.
professional
It's great.
Up top.
So yeah, with your incredible successes, you first of all you notice her relief when you say that he didn't kill himself. And then you get this feeling like, oh, maybe is that because she was worried about something? You get this sense that she was hiding something from him. Maybe she seemed disturbed, but maybe not surprised that he's met people in secret that she didn't know about. And then she calls for Bobby. She says, Bobby, can you come down here a minute? And then she smiles to herself and she goes, Carl wanted to call him Bobby after Bobby Fischer, the chess player. He really wanted him to be great at chess, but yeah, anyway. She says, but Bobby's special. Bobby! And then he comes in and he goes, yes, Mom? She says, take these people up to your dad's room. And he says, okay. He had a workroom upstairs. After he disappeared, I just left it as it is. We've never been in there. But I guess if there's anything, it'll be in there. Like I say, I've said everything I know.
Why are you doing that with your eyes, man?
What was I doing with my eyes?
Looking from left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right.
I didn't realize I was.
People often don't realize they are when they're lying.
I think what my colleague is meaning to say is that how were relations with your husband before he went missing?
Carl was a good man. I can account for every minute that he was not with me. I don't know what he got up to. He'd say it was work. And maybe it was. After all, it's sensitive work, difficult work. But she sort of looks at Bobby and goes, Bobby, leave the room. And he leaves the room for a minute.
Fisher likely an adulterer over.
And she says, I guess it doesn't hurt to say now. Bobby's not his son. So, it would be pretty rich of me to go demanding answers that maybe I don't want to hear anyway. It was a conversation we just didn't have. And it didn't hurt him thinking Bobby was his son. So, it's what he always wanted.
Who is the boy's father?
She gets this sort of distant look in her eyes, and she says, I mean, it could be Carl, for all I know. But I had a dream, and when I woke up from the dream, I knew I was pregnant. But in the dream, it might not have. And she looks out through the window across at the sea and says, there's a lot of nut jobs in this town. And I don't want to be one of them. But the dream, I was abducted in the dream. I was abducted and they put a baby inside me. I don't know who the father is. But I know Bobby's special. For that reason. You think I'm crazy?
No. No.
Okay.
When you say they in the dream, is this one person, multiple people?
They weren't people.
What were they?
Agent Scully. They were from up there.
Sharon gets a pack of cigarettes out and just wants to shove it in Lauren's mouth, but just politely hands her a cigarette.
She takes it and lights it up straight away. I've never told anyone that. And I don't know why I should think it's a good idea to tell the feds, but I get the feeling you're the only ones who are going to believe that. Am I crazy?
No.
Subject likely insane, over.
Thank you, Lauren.
When the FBI come to your house and you tell them you were abducted by aliens and you ask them if you're crazy and they say no, that's more worrying than you think it is. She just takes a long drag on the cigarette, calls Bobby back in. Well, if you need anything, just ask. If you want more coffee, it's on the side. I need a minute. And she goes out the back door and stands on the patio and just looks out at the sea, smoking.
Gonna go follow Bobby, I think. Yeah.
Bobby, can you take us upstairs?
Yes. And he starts walking off. And he's walking up the stairs. And he says, so, are you from the government?
Yes, Bobby, we're government agents. We're here to help.
My mommy said that the government would come one day. She said they'd come. She's been expecting you for a long time. Before Dad went missing.
Why do you think that is, Bobby?
Oh, I don't know. She doesn't like the government. Well, this is the room. This is my daddy's room. No one's been in there since he disappeared. Well.
What was that, Bobby?
Oh, no one's been in there since he disappeared, except I told my mommy I saw someone once, but she said I must have been dreaming because the door is locked and only she has the key. And I said, oh, but you don't understand, Mommy. It got in like a different way. And she said, that's impossible. And it was in the night. And she said, I just had a bad dream. So, and she said, sometimes dreams seem very real and they're not real. And so maybe that's what it was.
Maybe. Could you describe the what you saw to us? Maybe, Bobby?
He sits down on the landing, cross-legged, and he puts his drawing book down. He goes, no, but I drew it. And he starts going through the book.
This colouring book was going to come out.
Garrote now.
I think Sharon, because Sharon's expertise is spooky children, Sharon just like gets herself down low, crosses her legs like in front of the kid, like
Spooky children.
just to like calm the situation down for everyone.
Is this the spookiest child you've ever dealt with?
But it's up there. It's up there with my spooky children.
Child of possible extraterrestrial. You want me to classify?
Not yet.
I'm imagining Bobby is like flicking
Stick it in your jacket.
I imagine Bobby is like flicking through this book like a super hyper speed.
Not even looking.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it, disturbingly, are pictures of there's like pyramids and mummies, lots of Egyptian stuff, lots of eyes of Horus, lots and lots of them.
Bobby, do you like the Egyptians?
Oh yeah, you know the Egyptians would put people they'd wrap them up, they'd take their brains out and all of their insides, and then they dry them out and they put them in pyramids, and some of them are still there.
Tutankhamun.
That's Tutankhamun. He was found by Howard Carter, and they took him out, and there was a curse, and Howard Carter died. And I live in Howard's Beach, but apparently it's named after a different Howard. But that makes sense.
That does make sense, Bobby. Very interesting. Can you show us this picture now?
He turns the page, and you see. Well, my question is, do you believe as characters individually?
Oh yeah. 100%.
Okay.
I've seen all sorts of things.
Oh, I'm there. I'm still
I think
investigating, but
I'm not sure about the alien pregnancy. That's what I maybe don't
yes,
believe.
I think that's.
Okay.
That's too far for my character, but
I feel like I can believe she's had that dream.
yes, I believe that.
Yeah.
100%. But whether that meant that she was inseminated by an alien is a different thing. I don't know.
I don't have my own thoughts.
Horrible.
Do I believe?
So yes, you see this picture, and it is the thing that's disturbing about it is not just that it's very strange. It's that it's so strange. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing a 6-year-old kid would come up with. It looks like a kind of half man, half crab, but it doesn't really have a head. It's got this kind of like weird bulbous shape that just hangs down at the front, and it's got multiple limbs and lots of like insect-like legs. And it's all in different, really bright different colours, red and green and purple and blue and yellow, very scratchily drawn. And then Bobby says, "It spoke to me, but in my head, and it said, 'This'll be our little secret. I'm here. I work with your dad.'" Can you all give me sanity round?
Yes.
Oh, 16.
Very good.
Lovely stuff.
Oh, 1.
Oh, yes.
Oh, very nice.
You're used to spooky kids, to be fair. Spooky children, that's fine.
The dice knew.
70, which is more than 59.
I rolled 66, which is more than 60.
Ooh, you both. Perhaps this is because you two are trying to maintain this kind of professional view of things, and like there's always an explanation. You two, you've experienced enough, or seen enough, or imagined enough that this is. Suddenly you're like, this is real. This is real, and you both lose 4 sanity points.
Whoa. No.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. I've got 12 to spend before I go insane.
I'm riding on. I've got 55.
Yeah, you'll be grand.
You'll be fine. You'll all be fine.
Oh, I didn't like the way you said that at all.
You'll be grand.
Okay, all right. I feel like I lock eyes with Epsilon. It's like, what the fuck was that?
I also hear voices in my head. It's quite normal.
Anyway, kid, just stay with me.
Bobby does a sanity roll.
Bobby does something.
Do you want to
May
go
I
in?
see this book of yours?
He gives you his book.
Thank you, that's classified.
You can't take a kid's book from him.
I've taken classified material from a child.
That's okay. I'd finished the book anyway. I've started a new one.
May we see it?
Oh, I haven't started it yet. I just got a new one. I'm going to start right now. And he puts his hand, pulls out his red crayon, and he toddles along to his room.
Barbie, your mommy said we could go in your daddy's office. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Have you got the key, or has she got the key, or is it open now?
Oh! And he goes into his mum's room and comes back with a little key and gives it to you.
Thank you, Barbie.
Okay then. Well, I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope you find my dad. And he goes away.
Thanks for your help, Bobby.
Actually, we found you.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby Fischer.
Sharon just bounds up to the door nonchalantly, unlocks it, and opens the door.
You open this room. It's got slatted blinds that make it really gloomy in here, and the place is an absolute mess. There's like papers piled up, boxes and file boxes. There's like a couple of desks that are like completely drowning in paper and old coffee cups, and there's stuff on the floor as well. It's a real shambles in here. But you get the sense that there's a kind of like organic filing system to it all. There is a filing cabinet as well, all that kind of stuff. There's a cork board above the desk as well, with lots of pictures tacked into it, photographs, that sort of thing. What do you want to look at?
Look at the cork board.
Yeah, the cork board's covered in like loads of photographs. There's photographs of the local area, there's photographs of the power plant. There's a series of photographs of what looks to be just like barbed wire fencing, which is kind of strange. It's got long grass on the other side. And then there's a series of photographs that look like they were taken in the twilight or at night of lights. One of them appears to be a very blurry image of something in the sky. Your classic UFO photograph. Yeah, his power plant ID is on the desk, you notice?
A desk with like
Yeah.
and drawers and
Yeah.
can I have a rifle through those?
So you're searching through the documents, essentially.
Yeah.
This sounds like a library use roll, even though it's not technically a library.
Oh, I've got library use. I've got 60.
Oh, that's good.
I'm a doctor. 33. So just a regular old success.
Yeah, you're going through the room and you start to absorb this organic filing system. You realise there is a kind of like an order to the chaos that you begin to understand. You sort of put yourself into the mind of Dr. Carl Fisher, and you come across an archive box that seems out of place. It seems like it's been tucked away and concealed a bit more specially than the others. And when you take it out and open it, the top, there's all these exercise books that are filled with handwritten notes. And each of them details people you presume are Dr. Fisher's colleagues at the power plant. He writes like copious notes about their behaviour, about changes in their behaviour. You initially think maybe he's worried about spies, but the more you read, the more it sounds like he's more interested in a change in their psychology. How long are you going to spend reading that? Or are you going to take it with you for later?
I can spend a little bit of time reading it now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're reading that.
Mm-hmm.
What are the rest of you doing?
Is
There's
there
more stuff in the box, I should say.
Is there like a... Oh, there's more stuff in the box. Can I look at some more stuff in the box?
As Sully takes the exercise books away and is reading them, you have a peer in the box, and there's another photograph in here. In fact, there's a bunch of photographs. One is a black and white photograph of a man in a Nazi uniform. And when you turn it over, on the back, it says Dr. Fisher.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
And there's a photograph of him as an older man,
Yeah.
stood with Carl Fisher.
Yeah.
And he's wearing that thing around his neck that was
Yeah.
described earlier.
It's the same man, Carl Fisher. So it's your man, nuclear scientist, was a Nazi.
I think his dad.
His dad was a Nazi, right?
His dad. That's what. And I think Sharon very boldly goes, well, looks like the dad was a Nazi.
That explains everything. Case closed.
He just sort of announces it to the room, like casually.
Give me a spot roll as well.
Spot hidden.
Looks like someone was a Nazi.
Looks like someone was a Nazi. Ooh. 30, so it's a success.
Willkommen back to Seinfeld.
Normal success.
David Kramer, I know you are a Nazi. You can use any of that. Yeah, so you start to realise this has been disturbed because it was very organised. You can see there was a system to this, but as you go deeper down, it's been disturbed. And
The
then-
box, like
the contents of the
yeah.
box. And now, as you touch on this photograph, you realise there's like a film on it, like a greasy, oily film. And as you look at your fingers, it sort of glistens in those sort of rainbow colours like you get from an oil slick. Very odd.
Okay.
What's everyone else doing?
What else is in the room?
Just lots and lots of paper
Paraphernalia
and
and
junk and paraphernalia.
right. Is that like a shelf with more just like objects and items on it?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go looking for this oblong stone or whatever shaped stone it is.
Yeah, give me a spot hidden roll.
45. That is a 67. So I'm gonna push that roll.
Oh yeah, you're gonna push it.
Just going to concentrate for a second. I'm just going to take my earpiece out.
There's going to be consequences for that.
That's even worse. That's an 84.
That's what happens.
Back in and getting my scolding.
So you take the earpiece out and just sort of look at this at these shelves, and you get a bit closer, and you look, and sure enough, in the very thin patina of dust, there is something missing. There's like a bit that isn't dusty, and it is the shape of that stone. You realise it was stolen. And then you notice as well, there's behind the wallpaper at the bottom of the shelf, there's this sort of something running under the wallpaper. You put your fingers to it and run along it, and it goes just into the wall, and you realise, you know what this is. This is a listening wire. This room's been bugged. And as soon as you think that, the voice in your ear says,
Don't worry about that. There's work to do.
and you think, oh yeah, and you put the earpiece back in. Oh, sanity roll.
My sanity is now 55. And that is the continuation of my terrible rolling. 69. Not nice.
Not nice.
Not nice.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
You lose one sanity point, apparently. Come on.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Drive him
That
nuts.
sounds like I'm already insane.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, after reading through these things, the only extra thing I think you find is you glean that he's been, you perhaps assume, paranoid about some of his colleagues going through these behavioural changes. And it seems like he's building this hypothesis that there is something going on in the atmosphere or the environment that's causing that. Initially, early on, he thinks it's something to do with the power plant itself, radiation sickness or something like that. But then he concludes that the safety of the plant is unassailable, everything's secured, there is no radiation leak or anything like that. But then he notices more and more disturbing changes in people. People getting like, not sick as such, but like behaving. He describes one colleague as becoming having an argument with them and then becoming feral. He notices all this strange behaviour that he catches. He catches someone in the car park, like urinating like a dog, that he thinks is odd. And he says no one at the power station believes. He's brought it up a couple of times with his superiors that maybe something's going on, and every time they've ignored him or shut him down. And he says, I can't talk to my wife about it because we've always said we'll keep the work separate. And he's like, and I don't want her wrapped up in this. But then he goes on to say that the only person he can trust, the only person who doesn't think he's crazy, is Annabelle. And from reading it, you work out that Annabelle runs the Starlight Diner.
It was a clue. Good burgers. Burgers is code for information. Maybe.
Burgers, that German dish. Yes.
Nazis.
Nazi burgers.
Sorry.
Not
Germany.
good burgers, nasty burgers. Nazi burgers.
If this guy Carl can't talk about his work or where his son came from, what did they ever talk about him and his wife?
How was your day? Very good. Good night.
I'll be asleep again in the workshop.
Is the temperature satisfactory?
Yes.
Yes.
Is your
fish is
behaviour
dying.
normal?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
Within parameters.
The fishes are dying. Oh, that's nice. Pass the broccoli.
We might want to pay a visit to the Starlight
Diner.
Annabelle, who works there, she might be helpful for our investigation. Apparently, Dr. Fisher confided in her because she was the only one who didn't believe he was going crazy. He was seeing some strange behaviours in his colleagues.
You do find one more thing in that archive box, which is some newspaper cuttings of Dr. Fisher Sr. going missing. And there are notes about, in the margin and stuff like that, about how of Carl Fisher commenting about his father being paranoid about old Nazi agents coming to get him for his treachery because he obviously defected, or the Soviets.
When did he go missing?
He went missing in the
60s
early 70s.
Early 70s, right.
I pass this information on. I think I sort of see it and then sort of share the clip around with the others. And obviously then
It gets classified.
Epsilon pops it in his... I'm like, well, I've read it, so... whatever.
We've talked about classifying people.
Don't worry, we're just going to take that whole suit off him at the end of this. Yeah.
Well, I, for one, wouldn't mind sort of having a look around the area where the body was found, just in case there's anything else of a cultish nature, I suppose. I'm particularly interested to see if the reeds are actually native to this region. It said he was found in the reeds, but didn't say where the reeds had come from.
You go do that, Dickie.
Okay.
Yeah. Think maybe we'll take a look at the diner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Epsilon.
I'll go with Dickie.
Yeah, that seems to be the pairing. Great, we've lost him.
It feels like you're taking me for a walk. I've run up and down the corridor a dozen
I think you're
times.
the most likely to blab about what's going on, so I'm here to make sure that you don't.
It's already happened. I'm seeing the pyramid, it's in his pocket.
So you drive to the diner. I think you do drive, or do you?
Yeah, maybe we drive, and we drive, and that makes, if the water's edge is nearer the house, maybe we drive down the road. I feel like maybe we're starting to feel like it's a bit quiet and a bit
strange.
bit strange.
Yeah, bit shady.
Something strange.
Yeah, it is a weird vibe. It's very quiet in this little town. As you get to the diner, it's right on the edge of town, and it's It's really quiet here. Again, you can give me spot hidden rolls. 2 of you.
64, which is
Oh,
a
mine's
success.
very bad. Mine is not. I'm 40. Mine was 76.
So you're just like having a look at this diner, the boarded up windows.
Smoke a cigarette.
It looks really dilapidated. It looks like there's damp problems.
I noticed the damp though.
Oh, the damp.
That's like in my apartment.
But Sully, Special Agent Sully, is maybe you look back down the road, back towards the Fisher house, and there's that guy you saw on the way in, just walking around, sort of looking over. You see him, he's just sort of walking around, sort of in a small circle, he's walking around. And then he sees a pigeon. Just this pigeon lands, and he sort of walks up really slowly behind it. You get this feeling like he sort of hunkers down and puts his hands out and bares his teeth. And then the door of the diner opens, which makes you turn around. And there's a woman stood there, and she goes, "What do you want?
Are you?
I got a gun in here. There's nothing worth stealing, okay?"
Madam, there's nothing to be afraid of. Are you Annabelle?
Who's asking?
My name is Special Agent Sully. This is Special Agent Russo. We're from the FBI.
FBI? Yeah, I thought as much. You look the part. What do you want?
We just wanted to come in and ask a few questions. if
This is
that's
about
okay.
Fisher, isn't it?
Yes, it's about Dr. Fisher.
Yeah, I thought as much. Well, coming in then. There's not much in here, but you can come in if you want.
How long have you been closed, Annabelle?
We've been closed, about the same time. Car went missing.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, the debt's racked up. Business was slow. These scientist types, they're all working longer and longer hours in that plant. They don't come and eat here anymore. And there ain't no one else in this town. So what am I supposed to do? If I had the money, I'd up sticks, I'd go somewhere else, but I'm stuck here.
And Dr. Fisher, you knew him, correct?
Yeah, I knew Carl. He was a good customer. Regular.
We saw a document that he had left. He said that he confided in you. Is that true?
She looks down the street and says, "I think you better come inside." And she holds the door open for you. And you pass in. And as you pass in, you take one last look over your shoulder. And the guy stood there. And he looks like the cat who's got the cream. But in this case, he's covered in blood all round his mouth. And he's just smiling. And he makes eye contact with you. Oh, God. And then he runs. Just behind one of the houses. Can you give me a sanity roll?
I'm incredibly sane, but that still got me 89 on an 80.
Oh, dear.
Oh my god.
Still got me.
Still got me. That did freak me out.
You got me good, blood man.
That's 2 sanity points.
2 sanity points.
Ew.
Oh,
Yeah, so you step inside. Meanwhile, down on the beach, you start walking down. You're walking, right? Yeah. Yeah. You start walking down, and it's a bit out of town towards the Marshwood military base. It's called, and the gap between Howard's Beach and the military base, there's nothing. It's really barren, desolate stretch of coast. With these long grasses that go right up, and it's a bit marshy, sort of, like flats,
Is there a barbed wire fence around this military compound?
Yes,
place?
yeah, you can
Okay.
see it in the distance.
I want to point it out to Epsilon. There were photos of the fences here. I think the good doctor might have been interested in this installation.
He appeared to be interested in surveillance of this town in general.
True enough, I suppose. Yeah.
Should we see if we can find where the body was?
Sure. Yeah.
And while he does that, I'm going straight to the fences.
Shall we? We're back.
Like, oh, is that something you've noticed? Is it, idiot? I'm gonna go look at it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna gamble off into the reeds. I'm perfectly happy.
Do you wade into the water?
Oh yeah, straight in.
Yeah.
You're probably still muddy, so
Yeah, exactly.
perfect.
So you get sort of like halfway up to your knees in the water, and you're looking around, and you think you found the spot roughly exactly where it was, and there is something still stuck in among the reed beds there. You can see it like something thick and waterlogged and sort of moving slightly. It looks like it might be a book.
Okay, I should very much like to retrieve it, please.
So you kneel down and you realise it's sort of tangled up a bit. It's really waterlogged, and you're pulling at it, and you pull it out, and it's a copy of Edgar Allan Poe's collected stories.
Well, there's a coincidence. Goodness. Epsilon. Oh.
And as you look around, there's just a man stood really close behind you, in a long black coat with a hat and a suit, and he says, "How curious. What is that you're finding in the water there? Nice day for a stroll along the waterfront, yes."
Yes. In fact, I came by here yesterday and I dropped my book, but I found it now, so everything's okay.
What is the book you're reading?
What's the accent you're speaking with?
This is normal for where I am from.
Well, this is just a normal book from where I'm from, so England.
Oh,
Complete Austin.
yes, there is other Englishman in Howard's Beach. Yes, staying at the guest house. Yes, very, very interesting.
Is there?
I
haven't seen him.
Well, perhaps you will have something to talk about.
England, probably.
Most likely.
Yes.
I have never been, but I hear it is very interesting. Rich culture, yes.
Yes. Not at all communist. How about you?
I am from different place.
Tommy Wiseau.
This is all the origin story of Tommy Wiseau. That's what it's all leading to. It's not spooky.
Why, I am American.
Yes, I suppose you might be, yes.
So, what is book?
Typically it's a lot of pages in between two thick covers.
A very good English sense of humor. I am familiar with this.
Yes, good.
Yes, I understand. What is the book about?
Lots of things, really. Birds.
He cranes to look.
Yeah. So I haven't finished it yet, so I couldn't possibly. I don't want to spoil the ending for you.
I will not spoil the ending. Which story are you on? Perhaps the Telltale Heart?
Possible, yes.
You have something that belongs to us.
And what might that be?
We want it back, and we will get it back.
Okay. That sounds good. For you?
I know where you were poking. Mr. Poe deserves his rest, yes.
Well, I'm not convinced that was Mr. Poe.
Perhaps not. Perhaps something else.
Yes, I'd say so.
He looks out to sea, towards that island in the distance, and he says, "You should not linger here long. You never know who is watching. Easy to watch and not be seen from certain places on the beach. Not everyone here is a friend. Luckily, I am a friend. Look after what you have taken, and when you are done, we will want it back."
Okay.
And he starts walking back up the beach, And he stops and he looks over towards the chain link fence, the barbed wire fence. He says, "This is your colleague, yes?"
I'm more of a friend, I like to think.
Me too. Me too. And he nods to himself. And he just starts walking off.
I feel like Cunningham is sick a little bit.
Yeah.
Just,
In fact, he pauses and turns back one last time and says, "The fishing is not very good today, so don't waste your time." And then he carries on. He walks off. To the
Okay.
distance.
he just does a tiny sick. Because that was so stressful. He does a tiny sick.
Yeah, as you bend down to do a tiny sick into the water,
Yeah.
can you give me a spot hidden roll?
Yeah, I'd love to.
I think you're going to be a bit more sick if you succeed.
That is a 49, so it is a success. It's under my 55.
Oh, fantastic. You see fish moving. Like a small shoal of them, quite big fish. And then you look again and you realise they're not fish. They're a flock of birds under the water. And then they all just come belly up, one after the other, dead, drowned. Loads of them. Loads and loads of them. Like 30, 40 birds just popping up to the surface, dead. That's the sound of
Yeah. Oh, I should say so. So we're at 55 now on the old sanity. And that's a 31.
Oh, great.
Not bad.
You only lose one sanity point.
Ah, tremendous.
You like birds?
Yeah.
Oh, nice birds.
Yeah. Oh.
They're having a nice sleep.
A nice wet sleep.
I also like the candidate Epsilon's more of a friend than a colleague. He's shown you no kindness.
That's how nice Dicky is. So eager.
Meanwhile, over by the fence, you're looking and it looks like a completely ordinary army base in the distance. Little barracks, training ground, track, running track, that kind of thing. American flag. There's no one here though. There's no sound. You watch for a moment, and then you hear this sort of crunching of boots on gravel. And round the corner comes this, clearly a colonel, and he sees you. He comes marching up, and he says, "Can I help you? This is private property."
Special Agent Waitley, FBI.
"Yeah, you don't intimidate me, you bureau types."
You don't intimidate me, you military types.
"Good then. We have an agreement."
We've reached an accord.
"I like you."
That was so good. Instantaneously met their matches. Thank you.
I like you. Do you want to get a drink sometime?
Exactly.
"I don't really like to drink."
Neither do I.
"Good." "What brings the Bureau to our little corner of the world?"
We're investigating the disappearance of a scientist from the nuclear plant.
Well, that's
Turned
over
up.
there.
Over here. A lot of pictures of the fences around your base were found in his homestead.
We get a lot of people coming here taking pictures. They think they're going to find something.
What might that be?
They think we're hiding aliens or UFOs, that kind of thing.
Always the case.
Well, I'm sure you'd know if we were.
I'm sure I would.
And I'm sure if we were, I wouldn't say.
I'm sure if I knew, I wouldn't let on.
And then he just sort of stares at you really intently for a moment. And then his face kind of goes blank a little bit. And he says, "Are you sick?"
Sick.
"Have you noticed anything different?"
Nothing irregular. Are you?
I'm perfectly well, thank you.
Good to know.
This wind blows across the base. This long silence.
What does he look like?
Ooh, give me a spot hidden.
Oh.
He looks like your typical military kind of guy. He's maybe pushing 50.
God, what is my roll?
Cropped hair. Got a moustache, probably.
I rolled 88, and my spot hidden is 45.
Oh, okay.
Can't roll.
You've been
below
looking
60
up the whole
today.
time.
That's karma epsilon.
All those things you've
I've redacted my own abilities.
Exactly.
Pulled a chunk of your own brain out and put it in your jacket.
Yeah.
I mean, shake this out. It's all sorts.
He says, he stiffens and he says, you ought to be careful. At night, be careful.
Of what?
Yourself. Of course, if you find you have a problem, I may be able to help.
I'll be in touch, should that issue arise.
I'm sure you will.
I'm sure I will.
And he takes a couple of steps backwards and then just stands and watches you.
And I watch him for uncomfortably long. And I turn and leave.
Yeah, you notice... Ooh, give me a psychology roll.
I've got 10 in this.
Oh, here it comes, baby!
Oh yeah, that's a fail. That's 56.
You notice he didn't really blink. That's what you glean, but you don't... I'm not sure how to interpret that. There was something off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And as you walk back to meet Dickie, you hear this voice in your head again, in your ear. Just says,
He's not who he says he is. Not human.
Meanwhile, in the diner, you're inside with. She's introduced herself as Annabelle Palmer, and it's a real dump in here. It's like it's been abandoned. It's literally like it's been abandoned mid-session. There's still like cups and stuff that she's never washed up or cleaned or bothered with. And the whole place is damp. It stinks of damp.
I
It's
laugh
really gloomy in there.
and say, looks like my apartment. And then take a swig of coffee and spit it out on the floor. Just sort of rub it with my foot. Cause a bit of chaos.
It's a power move.
It was.
Nice closed down diner. It'd be a shame if anything happened.
Yeah. And then I sort of just like sit myself up on get my big gangly legs up on a chair.
You notice the walls are covered with photographs of UFOs. They're all over the walls and everything.
Part of a.
This is the stupid tattoo bit from X-Files.
Yeah.
She got a tattoo of a UFO.
A lot of people come out here to spot UFOs.
Yeah, there's been lights over the military base. People think they're doing experiments. They reckon they got an alien in there. They got crashed UFOs. I think there's probably something to it. I've seen my fair share. I've seen lights in the sky some nights. Lights in the water, too. All out by Creeper Island. So, what do you want?
Well, we were going to ask about what Dr. Fisher may have told you.
He had some theories. There's something not right in this town. People have got strange, quiet. The scientists are working every hour God sends. People acting strange when you see them. Animals too. Animals stranger than the people, actually. You not noticed that yet?
I've noticed some strange acting people. For sure.
Yeah, well,
When you say the animals are acting strange, what do you mean?
I saw a dog 3 days ago. I don't know whose dog that is. Haven't seen it since. Never saw it before. Comes walking through the town. And I said to it, you know how people talk to dogs. I said, "Are you from round here?" And the dog stopped in its tracks. I know this sounds crazy. It stopped and it looked at me. It shook its head. Like a person would shake its head. That dog understood me. And gave me a horrible chill. That's just one example that I've seen.
Can I do a psychology roll on her?
Yep.
That is a six. Oh, just a success. That was a 49, and I'm 52.
She's scared of something.
Yeah.
She's really scared of something. And you don't think it's the dog.
No.
But she's trying to put this brave, this sort of like
Yeah.
macho kind of face on it. But she's actually, you've seen this before, she's terrified.
Yeah.
She's in deep denial.
Annabelle, is there anything else disturbing you at the moment in the town?
She lifts a drink and you can see the tiny, tiny shake in her hand. And she says, not in the town, no. And her eyes involuntarily go to the ceiling. And she says, it's what the town's doing. My son's not well. People keep going missing. You think it's just Fisher? It's more than just Fisher. My son, he was in that military base. They kept him from me. I don't know where he went. They did something to him. Because he turned up. He's not my son. Whatever is upstairs is not my son. You understand?
Maybe we should talk to him as well after we finish talking with you.
You could try. Good luck to you.
Before we talk to him, as my colleague was saying, you confided in Dr. Fisher before he went missing. Well, he confided in you about some thoughts he had about the people in the town. It looks like you had a shared connection here. Would you say that was the case?
Give me a persuade roll.
Oh, I'm bad on persuade.
Oh, same here, so I can't even.
Oh, you got 10.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, close. 21.
You spent luck.
Could spend the
I
luck.
could spend the luck.
You haven't got a lot of luck
I
either,
haven't
though,
got a
have
lot
you?
of luck. 25 luck.
How much luck do you need?
Oh,
Only
too much.
Need
No.
11.
No. What do you think?
That's an edge case, isn't it? Because if you have to roll for luck ever again, that's
No.
horrible.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
All I'll say is that before you were disappeared, I think Carl Fisher was the last genuine person in this town. Make of that what you will. You don't believe me?
No, I do. Did you have a relationship with Mr. Fisher? Dr. Fisher?
How did you know about that? How did you know about that? I never told nobody about that.
Don't this is just between us
Yeah.
here.
Nobody.
Annabelle, this conversation won't go any further.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a question. I think we got a sense you were close.
Yeah.
I was close to Carl, yes. Please don't tell Lauren about this.
Of course.
All right. Well, I told you everything I know. Something's going on at that power plant, or at the army base, or something. I don't know if it's UFOs or what. All I know is that they took my son and they gave me back someone else.
So that's what you're thinking is happening here. They're replacing people with something else.
You get the sense that she's never really thought about it in those terms before, but hearing it, that's exactly what she believes. And she's clearly horrified. And she just puts her head in her hands and says, gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here.
Sharon just sort of hands her a cigarette. That's how Sharon is kind to people.
Yeah.
It's her Kleenex.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
She wipes her eyes.
We're on the cigarette.
Dry your eyes on this. Come here, Bobby. Come here, Bobby. Daniel's upstairs. He doesn't talk. He doesn't move. But go and have a look at him. By all means. And if you can solve this, and God, I hope you do, promise me you'll get us out of here.
We'll do our best, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well, should we pop upstairs to go and see?
We should.
So you go upstairs into this small room, and yeah, it's a tiny, tiny room, and on a single sort of camp bed, there's this young man. He's sort of stubbly, like he hasn't shaved for weeks, and he's just lying in the bed staring at the ceiling.
Hello, is it Daniel? We're here from the FBI. I'm Special Agent Sharon Russo. This is my colleague, Special Agent Sully. We're just here to ask you a few questions or see how you are.
The eyes flit between you. He says nothing.
I think it's time for a psychology roll.
Well, you could. I'll tell you what you could do. You could do a medical roll.
Ooh, I've got medical.
You want to examine him.
Oh, mine's terrible, but my psychology's good.
If you do psychology and I do medical.
Yeah, can we do?
You'll have covered all the bases.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Unless it was metaphysical, is it?
Spiritual.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Ooh!
So I'm going to spend 1 luck to make an extreme success.
Oh
And
wow!
I got an extreme success. I got 2,
Fantastic.
and mine's 52. So yeah.
These two investigative geniuses and then us two bumbling fucks bobbing about on a beach.
You're having a lovely chat with a Russian spy. Where you're too scared to do anything.
And I've got on with an alien.
What was I supposed to do? Throw the book at him? He wanted the book.
You're happily digging up a person, but you're sick when a Russian man talks.
He wanted the book I have, but it's my book.
He didn't even want the book, he just wanted to know what you were reading.
But that was for me to know.
It's also
not your
book that's readily available.
Yeah.
You've seen a baboon.
It's not out of print. It's not even out of print. You can buy that now.
One of the most famous
Buy that,
writers of all time. It's in the public domain.
Excellent.
No, you're right. That was inconsistent with Dickie Cunningham as a character.
I wasn't.
It's absolutely hilarious.
No.
It's not. It's like physical stuff doesn't bother him, but talking to a
But
person.
talking to a person, it's the most, it makes him vomit.
Yeah, it wasn't even the guy who was
hilarious.
Russian.
Oh no, he's not a xenophobe.
No.
He's just nervous.
He's just
Exactly,
very
no.
socially
He asked me a
anxious.
lot of questions.
It definitely is consistent.
He just oh, I love Dickie Cunningham.
So, with your extreme successes, you have both come across people in comatose conditions before. He is nothing like those people. Medically, it looks like he's completely normal. Completely, absolutely normal. There's no reason he should be in this condition, as far as you can tell. without doing proper tests. Psychologically, he is conscious, he's aware of you, but it's like he doesn't understand you. It's like talking to someone who is devoid of, like, consciousness or something. But more than that, when you look at his body, if you have a look, you notice that he's covered in, like, fresh lacerations and bruises, which would be inconsistent with him being bedbound, as if he's, you know, been in a fight or something recently.
I feel like he might be comfortable with us, though. If he has allowed us to examine him. Can we do a spot hidden in the room as well, or is it's really just bare? I guess
It's very small and quite bare. Yeah.
there's not really anything there.
No. Except
Check his feet.
Hello.
check his feet. I tell you what, yeah, you can give me a spot hidden roll. Give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh, I'm gonna. No, I'm not gonna push it because it's 55.
Should I do one?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking actually, when we've done the examination, we've just looked at it with reasonably cursory look.
Yeah, probably checked his pulse. that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Could I, if they're replacing people's bodies, how are they doing that? Without, because the guy that we did the autopsy on, he didn't have like incisions on him, but he didn't have any organs.
But he also has just been said to be the last actual person in the town. So they've done something to a real person, whereas this is a fake person.
I'll do a spot hidden for now. Oh, 70, 73. I'm going to spend 3 luck.
oh, great.
So make a regular success.
So you notice a muddy footprint on the windowsill. And yes, his feet are covered in dried mud.
Daniel, have you been out? I don't think we're going to get any answers from him.
And then he grabs your wrist. Really hard and tight. And he turns and looks at you. He makes this strange face. And then he opens his mouth to speak. But all that comes out is the sound, a loud sound of a chirping bird. Just tweeting at you. Sanity rolls for you too.
Yeah.
I'm having a lovely time on the beach.
It's nice, isn't it?
Ooh, great. I'm okay. 28.
59 for me on an 80, so that's fine. For me.
You both lose a
Fine.
sanity point.
Ooh.
How close are you both to madness? You must be pretty close, Lucy, now.
I'm 33.
And what did you start on?
35.
Oh, okay.
You're not too bad. I'm on 77 and I was on 80, so I'm okay.
Lovely. Lovely stuff.
We're replacing people's animals and the other way round.
Yeah, I think we go into the corner and have a little chat, and that's exactly what comes out. I'm sorry. That little tiny voice.
I think they're replacing people and animals and the other way round.
And then I just get out a cigarette and I'm like, you're right. You're right. And then I just put the cigarette out basically on my trousers. Burn through them. And I don't feel a thing. Great.
So when you come back downstairs, Annabelle's still there. And she's probably stood in the window now looking out. And she says, well, did you get anything out of him?
He chirped like a bird. Have you heard that before?
What? He chirped like a bird? No. I've never seen him move or speak or anything.
When I asked him if he'd been out through the window, because I noticed there was a footprint on the window and he had muddy shoes,
He can't walk.
Well, I think he's been out. There's some lacerations and bruising on his body. We took a look at him, and then when I asked him about it, he grabbed my wrist and chirped loudly like a bird. It was terrifying.
I'm laughing because it's so scary.
I've never seen anything like this before in my whole career.
She just looks out the window, shakes her head to herself, and then under her breath just says, I gotta get out of here. Who's doing this? Is it the Russians?
We don't know. But we'll find them.
All right. I seen lights in the sky. People think it's over the army base, but that's not where I see them. I see them over Creeper Island. And she points out into the bay. Lights in the water too. No one goes there. They say there's nothing there. Anyway, I hope you get to the bottom of it. I hope you don't end up like Daniel.
Thank you, Annabelle.
So, you leave the diner? What are you guys doing?
When I had that conversation with my new Russian acquaintance, and I said I thought of Agent Epsilon more as a friend, he said, me too. Does Dickie Cunningham take that to mean that Epsilon might be a Russian double agent?
You certainly could take it that way.
Okay, right, yeah, okay, fine. I sort of squelched over to Epsilon. Like, oh, goodness me, what a day. I'm famished. What do you want for dinner? Borscht?
What were you doing while I was by the fence?
Well, I went to investigate where the doctor's body was found, and I found this. I'm going to show it to you, but at a distance in case it disappears into your jacket. It's the complete works of Poe, which is strange, because that's whose grave we desecrated.
You desecrated.
Well, you're the one who's got the loot.
That's classified.
Okay, but I did see. It doesn't matter. And then a Russian man came and had a chat with me. That was quite threatening. And then I saw a couple of dozen dead birds in the water.
You're a strange man. I met a general. He may be my new best friend.
You're a hard man to read.
I'm designed that way. May I see the book?
You may see it.
May you open it then.
Yeah, I'm going to start flipping through it, like it's story time. Is there anything unusual about this book? Apart from the fact it's waterlogged.
About halfway through is the Telltale Heart, and the first page of it is marked with an Eye of Horus.
Oh, the man did ask me what story I was reading and suggested I might be reading the Telltale Heart.
And that has the Eye of Horus on it.
Yes.
Do you think that's a coincidence?
No.
Excellent. Can I see the book?
Yes. I hand over the book.
I'm actually just gonna look at the text. I want to see how well thumbed the pages are, and I'm specifically looking if there is anything that stands out about the lettering on the page. For like, it might be a cipher, or it might be used in decoding something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What would this be? Yeah, give me I think this is an intelligence roll.
Okay. I have an intelligence of 65. Oh, finally, the roll misery ends. That is a regular success, but I will spend luck. I'm going to spend 6 points of luck to make that a hard success, because I want to.
Yeah, there's a line in the Telltale Heart that is, "It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night is underlined. And as you're reading it, you get this feeling like this hyper focus comes over you that doesn't feel like it's part of you. And yeah, you realise there is a coded message in here. You sort of scan it really fast, like reading it faster than you realised you could read. And you hear these thoughts that don't feel like your thoughts, saying, on Creeper Island, they have the technology. We need to get in. It'll get us off this place. And you can feel this like buzzing excitement in your head, this pain in your skull. And it says they're guarding it carefully. They're doing their experiments. But we can use this. We can use this to get out of here. Can you give me a sanity roll for this
I'd love
awful
to.
feeling?
I've got 54 currently. And we're back in Trash City. That is a fail. That's 60.
Oh dear.
I like to imagine while this is happening to you, Cunningham is just babbling, like you're not listening. And in the telltale hut, a man's killed because he's got an eye that keeps staring. So maybe the doctor saw too much, and that's what they're trying to say. He was killed as a warning. Are you all right?
You suddenly get this pain emanating from your brain. It goes down through your whole nervous system, this excruciating burning pain. And the thing that felt like it was reading through you suddenly feels this incredible, there's like this weird mix of pleasure and extreme agony. You lose 4 sanity points. As you realise that there's something inside you that really wants to get in there. And you automatically look out to the island, and there's this weird fog on the horizon that's sort of rolling in. It's getting darker now, dusky, and in the distance you hear this sort of foghorn noise. You guys hear it as well from where you are. It sort of echoes through the town.
It says there's something on Creeper Island.
I suppose we should go.
Let's find the others.
So yeah, you probably head back. Well, you know where they went. So let's say that you all gather outside the diner. It is getting darker now, foggy.
What did you find?
A book. Book of Edgar Allan Poe's writings. In the water?
Yes, pretty much where Dr. Fisher was found, in the reeds.
And a cipher. A code pointing to Creeper Island in the bay.
Creeper Island.
How about you?
Well, we spoke to Annabelle, and her son was all wrong. Almost comatose, but medically he was fine. And then he chirped at us like a bird.
Would you like me to classify the child? No, okay.
Did you speak to anyone?
Yes. A sort of Russian man who...
A Russian?
A Russian?
Yes. He sort of turned up while I was looking
Where is he now?
through the... He walked off.
He walked off?
You just let him walk away?
What was I supposed to do? Classify him?
Such an Englishman. God, I knew it.
Well, he never said he was Russian. I think he was trying to help, in a way. He pointed me toward the telltale heart in that book, which is how we got the message and it's how we found out about Creeper Island. That doesn't make me a communist.
That's exactly what a communist would say.
You were sharing information.
No.
Sharing is communist.
I didn't. He already knew about it. I never told him what I was even reading.
Finally, I agree with Agent Ypsilon.
I'm not a communist.
Would you like me to classify Cunningham? Okay. I'll hold.
Did you meet anybody, Epsilon?
I met a general from the military base. I was investigating based on the photographs we found in Dr. Fisher's attic room. He appeared normal and actually quite cool.
Okay. Glad you made a friend.
I'd like to see him again.
Maybe we can arrange that.
The weirdest bromance ever.
Love this guy.
Russo's weirdly touched by this.
Annabelle also said a weird thing about a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She seems to think people's bodies are being changed around.
With what?
I don't know. But the dog behaved like a human, and the boy behaved like a bird, so...
When did the change occur for the boy?
He'd been taken to that base.
I did see a couple of dozen dead birds. Which, if everyone's getting the old, switcheroo, could be potentially disastrous for the town, I suppose. Because they were quite dead.
She did say a lot of people have gone missing. Not just Fisher.
A lot of people and animals have changed their behavior strangely, which matches up to the documents from Fisher.
Does everyone feel well?
I feel fine.
Top of the world.
I only had a little sick.
You were sick.
But yes. But it was just a stress reaction.
Is he blinking?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, probably quite rapidly. I just... It was nerve-wracking talking to the man, and so I was sick a little. Bit.
All right, we need to find a boat to get across to Creeper Island.
Yeah. How about you, RoboCop? How you feeling?
Has that film come out yet?
85?
She's a visionary, if not.
I think so.
Has it come out?
87.
Oh, you're a visionary. You came up with the idea just
What a
now.
robot.
Oh my god.
RoboCop's inspired.
You would go on to write RoboCop after this.
Yes, I
Who
did.
wrote RoboCop? Quick, Google.
Special
Sharon
Agent
Russo.
Sharon Russo.
It says Sharon Russo.
We've changed the course of history.
Do you feel okay?
A bit.
Do you?
How are you feeling, Agent?
Happy.
Happy?
Content. Fulfilled. I love my work.
Yeah, sounds like that meeting with the general went really well. Well, there's a fog rolling in. Do we want to go out tonight, or...?
In the distance, you can see there is a little jetty down by the waterfront with a little rowing boat. And it looks like someone's in the rowing boat, or they're getting into the rowing boat. They've got a backpack. They're not someone you recognise. They're just climbing in, looking around. Okay.
Let's commandeer this vessel.
Let's go tonight. Hey, sir! Sir?
Hello?
Sir,
Yes. Hello?
we're looking for a way to get to Creeper Island.
Oh, I'm going to Creeper Island. Was it all four of you?
Yeah,
Oh, well, hop in. I was just about to row over.
thank you, sir.
Hey.
Strange accent you got there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm from London.
It's a very accurate thing of what two Brits are like in America. Oh, I can't believe it!
I'm from just outside Three Bridges.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Oh, I know Three Bridges. Yeah, my friend Peter from school. He lives in Three Bridges now.
Does he?
Yes.
Oh,
He works for it's something to do with computers.
all right. I'm not a communist.
No, me neither.
Good.
Fantastic.
See, it's that easy.
Were you coming?
What brings you to this town?
Oh, I'll tell you on the row over. Hop in.
What's your name, sir?
I'm already.
Oh, I'm Kevin.
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin Feelgood, get in, get in.
Feel good.
Kevin, feel good.
I hop in.
Yeah, I'm going to hop in as well.
Kevin feel good. Ruh-roh.
I don't want to hop in, but I guess I have to.
You'll get in the boat and he
hop in.
pushes off and says, "Yes, I'm a sort of He's pushing away with the oar. I'm on a sort of a little trip, really, genealogical trip, I suppose you could call it. I've been staying at there's a lovely guest house here. A lovely couple, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Very, very American. They look sort of like that couple from that painting, American Gothic. The Spit. Very dry, but very kind, very sweet. Anyway, I said I'm staying there for a couple of days. And I said, it's a holiday really, but I'm actually looking for someone who, his father knew my father, which is quite my grandfather. My grandfather knew his father. Yes. There they are now. Look, they've come to wave goodbye. Cheerio. And you're already a fair bit out to sea. That's Mr. and Mrs. Smith over there. And he's waving. Thank you. And when you look back, there is this older couple who are just staring, unblinking, watching from the jetty. Yeah, they're very dry, very dry. And he reaches into his inside pocket and he pulls out some sort of wallet of stuff. And he's going through it and he goes, "Yes, my grandfather was an actor called Dick." And he shows you a picture of Dick Feelgood, famous actor.
Oh no!
Fuck, Sully.
But look at this.
Dick Feelgood was a character Sullivan played in the first episode of Call of Cthulhu.
Right. Yes. Oh dear. And
Went well for him, didn't it, Sully?
Yes.
Went very well for
I
him.
know. And he ended up with a special stone.
Anyway, here's a picture of them together. So he befriended this guy Fisher, and he shows you a picture of Dr. Fisher Senior with Dick Feelgood, and they both have this weird sort of glassy look in their eyes. And he says, "Yes, they apparently got on like a house on fire. Anyway, my grandfather came out here at some point, so I thought I'd pop along and see if anyone remembers him, or see if I can chat to this guy's son, who's apparently one of the physicists at the nuclear plant."
He was, yes.
Oh, do you know him?
In a sense.
Oh. What brings you out here?
We're here to investigate something.
Oh, sounds very ominous.
What's taking you to Creeper Island?
Oh, well, I was just here looking around, and it was Mr. and Mrs. Smith, actually, who insisted I should definitely go to Creeper Island tonight. Well, here I am. Why? You look very worried.
Well, we're glad that we could accompany you.
Are you with the police? Have I done something wrong?
No.
Oh, that's all right.
We are with the FBI, and we're here to investigate. But you've done nothing wrong. You have nothing to worry about.
Oh, I won't pry.
Best not to.
But it's good that you're with us. You can be safe.
Jolly good. Jolly good. Yes.
Quite safe.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
We'll look after you.
Can you all give me spot hidden rolls?
Yeah.
39 on
Oh,
70.
my terrible 74.
86.
I have
81.
I failed.
I have a regular
spectacularly.
success.
Hey!
So the three of you don't see anything. You're just busy chatting to Kevin. But you look back. Look back where Mr. and Mrs. Smith are still stood there, just staring. They're getting really small now. But you can see the diner as well in the distance. And you see a figure climbing out onto the edge of the window, hunkering down. And it's Daniel. And he's just sort of like cocking his head, looking around. Then he looks to the sky. He spreads his arms out and he jumps. And just straight into the ground.
He's been doing that every night.
What did you say?
He's been doing that every night.
No wonder he's got lacerations.
How's he getting back in the window if he thinks he can fly?
Again, I'm very sane. So 39 on a 77, so I do pass it.
You lose one sanity point.
One sanity.
It was at a distance.
Yeah.
You're just like Scully. You're like, just like you're seeing all this stuff and you're just like, I don't believe it. I don't fucking believe it.
It's not affecting me. Nah, it's weird. That's just weird.
There's got to be a rational explanation for all of this.
Yeah.
As he's pushing through the water, you notice there is this kind of like oily film on the surface, very colourful, oily film. But you don't think it is oil. It's something else.
Is it what
What does
was
it
on those
smell like?
photos?
It's similar, yeah,
Yeah.
very similar.
Does that have a smell?
No.
I just saw Daniel. He tried to fly, and he fell to the ground. And earlier, I didn't mention, I saw a man, I think he ate a pigeon whole. It wasn't right. It looked wrong.
Who's that then?
I don't know who it was. It was a man, his face...
I'm so sorry. I thought you were reciting a poem. No, so that was real.
No.
What?
That wasn't real. Everything in this boat is now classified.
Right.
He does that.
Kevin, what was the nature of the relationship between your grandfather and Dr. Fisher Sr., I think is in the photograph?
Herr Fisher Sr.
Yeah, well, I don't really know. I believe they became friends. Well, I suppose it must have been the late 60s. Yes, well, that's one of the reasons I came out here, to find out more about it, because I found all these photographs.
Would that have been just after Dr. Fisher arrived in America?
I don't know. But certainly my grandfather came out here at some point.
What was your grandfather doing sort of I don't know, between 1939 and 1945?
Oh, well, he was an actor.
Acting, probably, yes.
Probably.
Okay, yeah, sure, all right.
Yeah, I think they met in the 60s.
And eventually you arrive at the island. It is a small, desolate place with this ruined lighthouse and not much else. You can see to the other side of it. It's very odd. And as he disembarks and he's like, couldn't get one of you chaps to help me push this up the beach a bit, could you? I just don't want it to float away while we're on here. Look at this lighthouse, eh? I doubt that's much use anymore.
I'll help with the boat.
Well, excuse me, did you say chaps? I think I could do that.
And madam.
Yeah.
And I could do that too. I'm also a madam. I've never established that. But I'm also a madam.
I'm also a madam. Yes, well, forgive me.
I realise I'm Agent Scully, right? Yeah, I'm a lady.
Terribly rude of me too. How sexist of me. He gets out and starts pushing the boat up the thing.
We're all doing it.
We're all doing it.
We all insist on it.
We're all
and
soaking wet.
there's too many people around the boat.
Yeah, it's way too many
The
good.
boat's turning.
It's
back
going in
into the
different
water,
directions.
We push it too far up the beach.
Put it in the lighthouse.
Like, it's halfway up the stairs before we realise we're going to get a bit
Prove
wrong.
a
Too far
point.
just to prove a point.
Yeah.
No, it's no trouble.
He gets a camera out and he says, do you mind if I take a picture? Yeah, bunch together, that's it. Very good. By the boat, yeah, lovely. Oh, yes. Shame it's so dark.
I'm just going to flash my flashlight at the camera.
There's a flash. Well, I can't wait to see how that comes out.
That really got me.
Oh, well, here we are. He starts walking around a bit. Look around. What are you guys doing?
I want to go and look in this lighthouse.
If you two are going ahead to the lighthouse, are you?
Yeah,
I'm sort of following wherever they go.
Yeah.
I very much want to see the bulb at the top, or what is at the top.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
What's the lighthouse shape like? Just just very regular.
Very, very regular standard, old-fashioned lighthouse.
Okay.
But really, it's crumbling in places. So as you two are getting up to the door, you hear that voice in your head again, and it says,
One each to your colleagues. Give one each to your colleagues.
and the the pyramids begin to sort of vibrate slightly.
I can't believe
I'm picking something up.
Some lovely norks this whole time.
I have something to say about my character as well. However, yeah, I will just say, hold on. Orders from top brass. And I take one pyramid,
I think it's gold, actually.
and I take the more battered one, and I hand it over. You're to take those.
Why now?
Declassified.
Yeah. These been declassified?
I say, what are those? They look awfully familiar.
I don't make the orders, I just follow them. I was told to give these to you.
Whoa, why familiar?
What?
You said they look familiar.
Oh, well,
Want to take a look?
oh, all right then, I don't mind.
I hand one to Kevin.
Thank you. They're very... And he just stares at it for ages. And sort of smiles. And then he goes, sorry. There's a very large insect on your head. And there is. When you look, there is this huge insect on Sharon's head. Just right on her forehead.
Can I swat it away?
You go to swat it and it just kind of like phases into her head. Just
What?
warm, just disappears. And as you say that, you look and it's happening to you as well. And there's also one on Kevin. And there's one on you. They were
Anyone touch a pyramid?
warm.
I did earlier.
Oh, you did, yeah.
And can you all give me sanity?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, bother.
Oh, that's a 95, baby.
Oh dear.
No.
Oh no.
20 for me, I'm absolutely fine with this.
25, I'll pass the roll!
Mine is 58, so I have failed.
So you two have failed. Oh dear. Ooh, you both lose 6 sanity points.
That's you gone.
God.
That's you gone.
Oh,
Do we lose, even if we pass, lose 1?
Yeah.
Yep, so I am 1 point away from going indefinitely insane.
Okay.
I am still so far away from going insane. I'm absolutely fine with this. I'm on 75
You're
now.
absolutely fine with a big insect just melting in your face. Oh, what was that? Never mind.
There must be a reason for this.
That's new.
There must be a reason.
No, you might be fine actually. Is it?
20. What is it?
It's a 6. It's 5th, isn't it? So what's a 5th of 35?
7.
7. Okay, you're 1 away. Like me.
Oh dear. But you have rolled over 5, so I need you both to do intelligence rolls because you might go temporarily insane.
Ah, great.
So you want to fail this because if you succeed, it means you've understood the implications
Oh,
of what's
yes.
happening. And if you fail, you just repress this and think, oh, it must have flown away.
Oh, whiffed it.
I
65.
succeeded. No, yeah, I didn't whiff it. I rolled 42.
Buckhead! Buckhead's all of us!
I think I started to smoke about 5 cigarettes at once.
Trying to fumigate your own head.
Nostrils,
Sharpies,
ears,
yeah.
mouth.
Oh yeah, and I get the Sharpie
Yeah,
out and
2
just like
Sharpies stuffed up your nostril.
smoking a
This will
cigarette.
smoke
Like
the
I've got
fuckers
like
out.
cigarettes between each thing. I'm just doing this.
It's like, it's like trying to get a tick out, like Vaseline on every orifice.
Fantastic. Yeah. You start chain smoking like that, and then yeah, everything starts to feel a bit strange. You feel really lightheaded, and you hear the lighthouse door open, and you hear a voice go, "Sharon, it's about time I caught up with you. You know how far I looked? I looked all up and down the East Coast. Well, it's about time we had this little reunion. And you turn around and it's your Uncle Frank.
It's Uncle Frank.
Who you've been running from for years. Well, what took you so long, huh? What you been up to?
I think I just start to cry like a little girl, because that's when I last saw Uncle Frank.
That's what you all see. You all see just break down like a child.
Like a child.
We all see Uncle Frank as well.
No.
No, of course.
Russo appears to have had a psychotic break.
Otherwise, it's just Uncle Frank just being there. Just
I
regular
think-
Uncle
She's
Frank.
currently weeping
Yeah.
like a little girl.
I think I start to imagine that Uncle Frank is holding like that knife that I knew that he kept in his desk that he used to kill people with.
So you thought you'd leave the firm? You thought you'd join these guys, huh? You know how much trouble these guys have caused us over the years, the FBI. I never thought I'd see my own flesh and blood in one of those suits. You got some nerve. You got some nerve, Sharon, turning up like this. Your old man went soft in the head, you know. He should have stuck with the firm.
And she just starts to scream like, "Don't you talk about Daddy like that! Daddy didn't need you. Daddy didn't need the family." And she just starts bawling. And then just breaks down and is just like shaking on the floor.
Agent Russo appears to be conversing with a figment of her imagination. Yeah, totally crazy.
And I start to get really angry that I hear that as well, though. And I start to get really angry and be like, "That's Uncle Frank you're talking about. Don't talk about Uncle Frank like that. Not in front of Uncle Frank. You don't know what he's capable of." And then I think I maybe jump up and start to shake Agent Ypsilon.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, fine. So you're shaking Agent Ypsilon, he probably isn't reacting at all.
Yeah. He's just moving back and forth.
I'm like a broken jibber jabber.
Yeah.
Just completely dispassionate.
Gently rocked.
She's currently shaking me over. It's
Sharon,
quite pleasant, actually.
Sharon, Uncle Frank isn't here. Sharon, Uncle
He's right
Frank
there
isn't
in the
here.
lighthouse.
No, you're hallucinating. Uncle Frank isn't here.
You don't know about Uncle Frank. You don't want to know about Uncle Frank.
I know. Okay, I'm sure I don't. I just want you to know everything's okay. It's a hallucination. It's all right. It's like the bugs. It's the same thing. It's just a hallucination. There's something strange in this island. Maybe it's carbon monoxide or something. I don't know.
And then I think Sharon does what used to calm her down as a child when she would get scared that Uncle Frank was going to come and find the family, where she used to go and run a cold bath and just stand in the water. And so she just takes her shoes off and just goes and stands on the water's edge and just tries to compose herself with her bare feet in the water. And just it's breathing, but trying to calm herself down.
Fantastic. The figure in the door, who is not Uncle Frank, says, "We do not have time for this. What has happened here? This one has gone wrong. This one is not well."
I think she's having some kind of hallucination. Maybe caused by these.
No. Are we compromised? No. She will be okay. She will recover, yes? We do not have time. He holds his hand out to take the pyramid. Finally, we are going to be free. Curse this atmosphere. And he throws the pyramid into the sea. Are we ready? We must be quick. These hysterics will have alerted them to our presence.
Who are you?
Yes, of course. They do not have full control yet. You will understand, but you must trust me, yes?
Forgive me. The FBI were not a very trusting people. I just need to know a name.
You can call me Edgar. Is good name.
It's made-up name.
No. Edgar is a real name.
No, I'm aware it's a real name. I don't believe that that's your name.
Well, we will have to agree to disagree. Yes?
Who are you working for?
I am working for the same people you are working for.
The Federal Bureau?
If you wish to believe that, yes. You hear that? You can all give me listen rolls if you want.
You can see why I was a bit sick earlier. Very stressful.
We're all sick.
Actually heard. My listen is 20. I rolled 11, so I succeeded.
Mine is 35 and I rolled a 41.
My listen is 40 and I rolled 62, so I fail.
Mine is 25 and I rolled 23.
Fantastic. Oh, nice.
The two of you, all you can hear is the wind. All you can hear is Uncle Frank talking to you, threatening you. But you two hear this low hum, like a motorboat. And sure enough, this military speedboat pulls up. There's this spray of water, and it bumps up the gravelly beach a bit, and out hops that colonel. And he walks with definitive purpose towards you all. And hi, the guy, he just sort of looks at you very coldly. And he goes, "So, it's all of you, is it? You shouldn't do this. You should mind your own business. You should keep out of things that don't concern you."
What's been going on at that base, Colonel?
Your little friend will tell you, I'm sure. Nothing that concerns you. Our work here is not complete.
People aren't right. People have been disappearing. You anything to do with this?
I don't have time for this. And he reaches into his jacket and he pulls out something that looks like a black, lumpy metal ball. And he sort of leans forward, and then the other guy goes, "We have to run. We have to run now. Now." And he, "Into the lighthouse, quickly. I will take care of this one." And he just starts sprinting towards the thing. What do you all do?
I'm gonna run.
I don't know, because Uncle Frank's in the doorway. No, Uncle Frank is the guy. Do I think that the Russian guy is Uncle Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, I run away. I run away because I don't want to be anywhere near him, so I actually probably saved myself in that sense.
Oh, I think Uncle Frank's going to hurt my new friend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to garrote Uncle Frank.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, wonderful.
No, I think he's a
good guy.
I think he's a good guy.
So I'm gonna stand, and I'm sort of in between the two. And as I see the Russian guy running across the beach, I turn my body ever so slightly, and I just loop this wire around my wrists and into my hands. And just as he goes past me, I'm just going to try and catch him.
Yeah, fantastic. Go for it. Let's have a fighting roll.
Okay. Oh yeah.
No.
Oh.
What a time to succeed!
I'm going to spend 3 luck points.
Fantastic.
I'm taking my garrote skill
Mm-hmm.
is 75.
Oh.
And I rolled an 18 with 3 luck points. I've got an extreme success.
Oh, it's going to be like a cheese wire. It's going to twist it off.
Yeah. How does that work again? The garrote thing. It's
It's just a fighting. It's 1d6 fighting thing. But I think it's 1d6 per round, so I can just hold him.
Yeah. And was that? Did you change that into an extreme success?
I made that an extreme success.
So you're going to do. So that would be piercing, really, because it's so sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to be 6 points of damage plus 1d6.
Okay. I've rolled another 6.
Oh, yeah. I think you cut through, like it goes through his neck. It gets to the gristle of the bone. It starts. The force of him running forwards. You see his legs buck up. He takes off the ground. Blood shoots out of his neck all across you like that. Probably his eyes bulge out. At which point, the Colonel, he points this thing and it glows warm, and then this deafening crack in the air as a lightning bolt hits the guy and electrocutes him, starts liquefying him. And I think I'm going to need. How do you react to that?
I think I would step back out from that. I would immediately let go of that if I saw that happen.
Let's have a dodge roll for that then.
Dodge. What is my dodge? It's not listed, which is your dex normally, isn't it?
Yeah. It's half dex.
Half dex, so half is 37. Can I spend luck on that?
Yeah.
I'm going to spend 1 luck to make that into a success.
Good idea.
So I rolled a 38.
Yeah. Good idea.
So
very good idea. Yes, you managed to let go just in the nick of time. His head sort of separates from his body as he gets absolutely pulverized by this electrical energy from this thing. Obviously, this is really weird to see. So I am going to need a sanity roll.
Boring.
And also from you two as well, if you catch this.
Yes.
You're already insane, so you don't have to worry about
That's a fail.
I rolled 55.
A success for me, nothing bothers me.
A failure for me.
it. So you lose 1 point of sanity.
Lovely.
I'm sick again.
Oh dear. And you both lose 6.
6. I'm indefinitely insane.
Seeing this
now.
guy get
good.
absolutely unnaturally murdered. And I think to compound the problem is as this is happening, the Colonel guy his face kind of sags and his lower jaw falls to his chin as the back of his head just starts sliding backwards, and out of his mouth just this shape is emerging, this sort of spongy purple mass is just pouring out of his mouth, and then these long sort of spider-like legs just sort of come up and push down as you realise something is bursting out of him. It's sloughing off this thing like it's just like a costume.
Is the rock in the hands of the body and not the thing that's coming out?
At the moment, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
Still
mad,
holding
though,
it,
so-
but it's just like melting down. Who lost those? Are you indefinitely insane?
Oh no, I'm not at all. I've still got fortitude.
Let's have another intelligence roll.
Oh, it's tremendous.
What about
yeah,
I'm
lovely.
indefinitely insane.
Oh, good. Fantastic. How did you get on there?
I'm sorry to say that I succeeded, and I processed that quite ably.
A bout of madness. Okay, interesting.
That doesn't sound good.
We've had that one. It's a different one. Oh, even better, yes. No, I like that one. That'll do.
The puppet master at work.
Yeah, so I think you suddenly feel very faint, everything starts going black, and your body just falls backwards. You're unconscious.
Okay.
Ooh. Who else was going crazy?
I've gone fully crazy.
Fully nuts.
Fully cuckoo. Never coming back.
Bloody hell.
You're just by yourself.
I'm just by myself, the only sane person around.
It's because you had all the sanity everyone else deserved.
Yeah, no, I get the punishment.
I'll come back to you. What are you doing?
I'm going to keep on running towards the lighthouse at this point.
So you run into the lighthouse. The stairs up are broken and shattered, but in the ground there is an open metal, like safe door that's lifted up. It looks much newer, really clean metal.
I'm going to go down there.
You run down into this spiral staircase. As soon as you go down, it opens up into this cavernous space, and these metal stairs just go down and down and down and down and down into pitch darkness. You're just running and running and running and running. You hear a voice in your head, in your ear. It says, "Agent Ypsilon, do you copy? Over.
Receiving. Over.
We've lost you for a while there. I think we have remade the connection. There was some interference. We're looking into it. Please hold. Yes. Very good. Agent Ypsilon. We're operating the kill switch. Terminate the operation with extreme prejudice."
Understood.
You yourself may be compromised. Do you understand? Over.
I understand.
Thank you, Agent Ypsilon. You've served the Horus Network well. Good luck.
Over and out.
What a bastard! What a big bastard! No, what a big bastard! I don't like it. No, I don't like it, big bastard. Why is a big bastard?
Who's on the beach, Dom?
Right now, Sharon's crying like a child knee deep in the water.
Yeah.
Right, Sharon's crying still.
Dickie's out cold.
Dickie's out cold,
Dickie's
and
out
Kevin's
cold.
there.
Yeah, Kevin Feelgood.
Oh no!
Oh, Kevin Feelgood.
Kevin's not in the mission.
He's still holding the pyramid, right?
Yeah, he's holding the pyramid and he's just sort of staring, unblinking, not sure what to do.
Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk towards Sharon in the water, but on the way I'm going to reach down and I'm going to grab Dickie's hand and I'm going to drag him to the water as I go. And when I reach the water, I'm just going to turn Dickie face down and leave him floating, and then I'm going to take my wire.
Oh, fantastic.
Blue on blue.
Blue on blue.
Blue on blue.
I've got 75 in garrot.
You're probably just coming back to your senses,
Yeah.
and you realise
I might be able to fight.
Yeah.
back.
What do? Ypsilon stood like really close to you.
I think I'm stood in the water, and I've just sort of come back, and I can see. I just at the point where I see him putting Dickie down into the water,
Yeah.
and I sort of like catch that, and
It's Uncle Frank finishing
Yeah,
someone off.
That's it.
And then
because
he's
I look up,
he's
and then I
unwinding
see
this-
Uncle Frank's face
Yeah.
here instead.
Yeah, and he's got the wire.
Yeah.
And you've seen him do this a million
I've
times.
seen
You've
him do it
seen
a
this.
million times.
And your dad's always gone, don't worry about what Uncle Frank does. It's just his way of, it's his handshake. You shouldn't have seen it. You shouldn't have seen
Yeah,
it.
I've seen it. It's so many cracks through
Yeah.
doors. What doors? Oh
And
god.
then Uncle Frank's face just melts away, and it's the blank, featureless, dead-eyed face of Agent Ypsilon.
A
Yeah.
character.
Laurie is playing.
Very well, might I?
How do you react?
Either I run, or I don't know whether to run or to fight him. Oh,
Decisions.
I think Russo's a fighter. So I'm gonna try and I don't know, either like punch him in the stomach or knee him in the balls or something to like a quick, like fast reaction that I know, like a self-defense reaction. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna grab him by the shoulders and knee him in the balls.
Yeah. So give me a fighting brawl roll, and you're giving you a garrote roll. Right?
Yeah.
Which is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Ooh.
13.
13.
What kind of success is that?
I'm 35, so it's it's good, pretty good.
Hard
Great.
success.
Hard success.
What did you get, Laurie?
Hard success.
Ooh. So in Call of Cthulhu, in a combat situation, if it's a draw and you dodge, the defender wins. But if it's a draw and it's a fight back, which this is, the initiator wins. So you feel the cold, sharp metal around your neck as you futilely thrash at Agent Ypsilon.
That's 5 damage.
And he just, for 5 hit points of damage, how many hit points have you got?
9.
Ooh, dear, that's a major wound. So I think probably you feel it cut into your flesh. You feel the heat of your blood running down your front. And can I have a constitution roll to see if you stay conscious?
I really hope you do. Oh no, your constitution's terrible!
It's that asthma.
All those sharpies.
The Sharpies, yeah, rotted you.
Not the cigarettes.
Sharpie-induced
Bad. 75.
75 on a
Good.
25.
Bad.
Oh, that's
really
very
bad.
bad.
Everything goes purple. And now your last image is this horrific alien creature stepping out of the body of that colonel. And it's sort of like 7 foot tall with these like crab-like appendages and these insectoid legs and this weird pulsating mass for a head. And it's sort of clicking and buzzing as it walks towards you. That's the last thing you see as everything goes black. I'm presuming you stay there until...
I'm carrying on, yeah.
Yeah. So, you're gone.
Last time for Dickie. How's he doing?
Personally, really
Let's
sorry.
have,
That's okay. All the thrill of me thinking I got through that.
Let's have a constitution roll just to see if you wake up. But I probably need a hard success because you did pass it.
My constitution's 25. That's a 76.
Yep. You just fade away. Into a beautiful sleep.
Under the circumstances,
Yeah.
best possible outcome.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, you've had
Just,
the
I
best,
think that,
best
just
death.
having a nice dream
Just a
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just away. Away goes Dickie. Good night, sweet occultist.
You hear a voice in your head, a screaming voice going,
No, 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 this was our one chance to get out. What are you doing? What are you doing?
and then you turn round and see this strange, gigantic alien thing, and you hear its voice somehow in your head say,
Let me deal with that.
and it reaches out an appendage, puts it on your head, and you feel this sucking feeling, and it pulls out this fat, weird insect and just throws it to the ground, and instinctively you just crush it with your foot. Downstairs, you run down and down and down, and eventually you get to the bottom. It's pitch dark. And you think you can hear movement, this sort of shuffling movement. But the main thing you hear is this buzzing, or this low from different sources. And then, way in the distance, there's this and this strange light just comes down. And then another one. They're not like, there's something not quite human in its technology. It's like the light is, you can't see where the lights are coming from. It's just these like shafts, just you see row after row after row of these waxwork figures, and they look all like Agent Ypsilon. And on the walls, there are these metal cylinders, loads and loads and loads of them. And then this big light comes on in the middle, and in the centre of the room is this and the room is gigantic. I mean, it's huge. You're looking down on this huge scene. There's this enormous metal pyramid just in the middle of the room, and you see these figures moving around the edges of the room. These huge alien figures with their claw-like hands and their scuttling feet. And you hear a voice right behind you, almost like it's in your head, that says,
You should not have come here. You should have not interfered with our experiments. We were nearly finished.
And then, as you turn and look, it's one of those aliens, and it's just stood over you, and it puts its tentacle to your head and pulls, and it's this horrible, it's like having a tooth pulled, but from your brain. And this insect gets pulled out, and it just crushes it in its hand. It says,
There. That's over now.
and then you feel these appendages on your arms holding you. You realise they're all around you. And you get pulled onto this sort of strange metal gurney, and you're wheeled off, helpless, seeing the lights pass over you. And before long, they're stood over you, and you feel the incision going into your head. Upstairs, the thing turns to you and it says,
Agent Ypsilon. Welcome home.
and it touches you, and you just drop down dead. Somewhere, you have a vague sense of existence, but everything's dark. Everything's strange. You come to your senses, but you're not sure what those senses are. It doesn't feel like you have legs anymore, or arms, or a torso. You certainly don't have eyes or a mouth. And if you did have a mouth, you'd probably scream. And somewhere back in Washington, D.C., Special Agent Drainer Sully walks into her office, sits down at her desk, and shuffles some papers. And a guy comes over and he says, "Oh, Drainer, how'd you get on in Baltimore? Was it cool? Did you have a good time?" And Drainer Sully looks up to him and says, "That's classified." There you go.
Oh, fantastic. Very good.
We did it.
Horrible.
Another classic railroad ending. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little dip into the back archive of the Y-Files. But why not check out our amazing guests? We were joined by the incredible Johnny Chiodini.
Yes, hello. I can be found on youtube.com/Johnny Chiodini, which is my name, so it's quite straightforward if you're me, and youtube.com/Oxventure, where I tend to run D&D, but there's also lots of other role-playing games, including D&D, but Everyone Has Amnesia, starring Sully.
Which I'm on. Yes. But watch all the other stuff that Johnny's on. That's better than my stuff. My stupid stuff. What's Johnny's stuff?
We're also joined by the inimitable Lucy Farrett.
Hello. Yes, you can find me at Lucy Farrett on the social media. I'm an actor and character comedian. Sometimes I show you those things online.
But mostly I keep it secret.
It's classified.
That's classified.
As for us, you can check out all the other Chaotic Neutral videos probably on screen right now. They're zipping along and they're all declassified, except for the Patreon stuff. But that's worth checking out too, because it's great. So, see you there. Remember, the truth is somewhere. But you won't find it here, folks.